just about time for our seats here.
All right.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Kino Korner. Uh,
Hello, everyone.
yes. So, as you may notice, I have a guest with me today, the wonderful Blexin. And Kittyman, he is not here to address that first and foremost. Uh, Kittyman had some things happen recently. He's stepping away from the Kino Corner, at least for the time. He's doing fine, but like for now, it'll doing some other circumstances, and going forward, it's going to be me and the guest. Sometimes maybe just me, but play it by ear. But hopefully, we'll see Kitty Man's wonderful, sexy face here. But for now, he needed to step away to take care of something.
Hoping for the best for Kitty Man here. It's just been a really crazy year. So, same for everybody else. Hope everybody else is doing good. And I'm honored to be the first special guest here for your podcast, Mr.
Yeah,
Kaiju Kid.
yes. Well, the first guest without Kitty Man, but yes,
Yes. The first stand-in filling here, big old shoes to fill. So, we'll do our best here.
yes.
All right, so what we have for our first topic here, since I believe we're talking about our trailers,
Let me go through here. Let's we'll just go ahead and get started. Oh, first and foremost, just to get out of the way,
Mhm.
there's not a lot. We have some movie news. Uh,
Oh yeah.
three things, and they're going to be pretty quick. The first, I don't really have a slide for. There's been some updates for the live action One Piece. Again, this is really for only if you're like me and you follow One Piece. They've revealed how much of the show they're going to cover with season two. It's less than you I would think, but it's like if you know anything about One Piece, they're covering up to Drum Island. And for context, have you watched Naruto?
Uh, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. It was like with One Piece, not for the lack of interest after a certain while. I just kind of fell behind because there was so much happening.
Yeah. No, that's
And
fine.
I was gonna give my own, I was gonna give my own little thing about One Piece because it's kind of like trying to get caught up with Law and Order.
Yeah.
That's a long time. It's a lot to go through. And the thing is I'll say this, right?
Yeah.
There's certain aspects about certain animes that give me interest that make me want to start. I just get a little intimidated because I get so distracted.
Hmm.
Just want to play and watch everything at the same time. It's kind of hard to commit to that. But I will say this, at least for One Piece, like the whole Gears thing is pretty really neat.
Oh yeah.
The whole Gear 4. When I saw the big old what was it, Gear 3 or 4? You're gonna have to correct me on that. But that big old tanky build of him,
Oh
like
yeah.
Chunky Boy Luffy,
Yeah. That's
I was like,
four.
that's pretty cool. So it's stuff like that that really gets me interested. That I kind of want to start. I saw like the first season with a friend a few years back, but um, yeah, it's just about having that hyper focus for it.
Oh no, that's fine. I guess the live action is a good way to pop into it. It cuts out a
Hmm.
lot, and season two is going to cut out a lot as well because it One Piece, the way they divide their stuff, animate this arcs. One Piece kind of does what Oda calls sagas. Everything will eventually connect to one longer arc, uh, being Alabasta. Because
Hmm.
of the limited episode count, this season is basically everything before Alabasta. The upside
Hmm.
is now when we actually do, if we get a season three for One Piece, the important stuff is just going to be hard focused, and that's great. The downside is this season, well, I don't know if the villains can carry it. I don't know. Like
Hmm.
I'm cautiously optimistic again, but no, that's we. And also, there's like some controversy about her. The actress is like Indian and she's not
Hmm.
Egyptian. It's like, well, to be fair, Oda handpicked these people. Well, not handpicked, but Oda was very, very present for all of the auditions, deciding who does what. And
Hmm.
I hate to be that guy, but it's a fictional pirate island, and it's
I
not
mean,
just themed around Arabia. It's themed around every world, desert kingdom. including quoting Oda,
Mhm.
India. So like,
It would make sense, right? I
yeah,
mean, just naturally having different cultural, presences in there. It's just, hey, we're all here on the scene, right? We all
yeah,
got a boat. But I mean,
exactly.
I don't know much about it, but you know, definitely like for shows like that. I mean, for anybody who's new like me trying to get into a series, some people they may feel intimidated about, trying something, new, but me personally, I don't mind getting the TLDR versions of stuff, like like Eva Evangelion or something like that. If they do like a shorter, more, like I said, a TLDR version,
Oh
like a movie, stuff like that. And if you're suggesting stuff like that, with this One Piece show, I mean, I would like to give it a shot.
yeah, like and season one covers the broad strokes of everything up to Arlong, which is a good chunk of early One Piece.
Which
And
makes me feel good for getting started on it, and I'll just let my friends and all that, fill me in on anything that I may have questions on, because I'm like, how did we get here though?
oh yeah, it's good. Oh crap! It says
Yeah.
One Piece Kai win. You joke, but there is actually another Netflix exclusive One Piece season starting from zero.
Mhm.
I love it, but I hate it. But again, that's discussion for later. Um, Other bit of news that we have going on: Jurassic World Rebirth. We got the announcement and the rough synopsis. I am happy we're getting another Jurassic World movie, but I look at the synopsis and I kind of with the majority of the internet on this. I just yeah, eh.
Uh, what do you mean though? It's Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
She's in it. It's got to be good. Funny enough about it, because I was looking some stuff on it as well. And one thing I noticed is just like, I guess slightly off topic for this here, but just, since Jurassic Park is part of this, um, since there's not much in terms of, trailers, I'm just noticing ever since with AI technology, there's a lot of AI trailers out. And so I'm seeing all these AI trailers for the movie Jurassic Park Rebirth, and I'm like, what is this? And like, it's Scarlett Johansson, but then they have like this AI Chris Pratt over it. I'm like, is this real?
You're like a fucking
And you're
Black
seeing
Widow
like,
and the
right,
T Rex or some
yeah, you're
shit.
seeing these weird AI CG T Rexes and Raptors. I'm like, I don't know what's really, I
Dude,
don't know what's real anymore.
dude, don't worry about derailing. It's fine. Like, but I am not just that one, but and again, yeah, don't worry about derailing any conversation. Me, Kitty do it all the fucking time. But all the fake trailers that come out, the ones that I've been addicted to lately are the ones that reimagine a franchise as like a
Mhm.
early '80s, late '70s fantasy movie.
Dark, yeah, dark fantasy,
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah,
love those
yes,
because
it's great.
like I love those fake trailers. They're so good.
I know it's and honestly, I feel like that's where if coming up on a topic with one of the trailers we're going to talk about, I feel like it just goes to show that social media sometimes may have a big influence on what's coming out more
Mhm.
than we may think, because we see a lot of interest in dark fantasy type reels, because I see them all the time and I love them. And somebody is probably thinking like, why not start making more movies like this again? People
Mhm.
are clearly showing an interest, you
Oh yeah,
know,
like me and Kitty,
and
like it's a conversation me and Kitty had a bit of like in a previous episode about like there's always something that defines be it a decade or a generation of movies. Like the '50s
mhm.
had sci-fi, like '70s, early '90s was that was basically the '80s and just around it was just all horror.
Mhm.
You could argue that basically late '90s to now was superhero movies. What's next? Because whether they like it or not, I think Disney's starting to realize that the superhero shtick is starting to. So
It, the way I see it, especially when it comes to medias and trends, it's like everything has its season and time, and yeah, you're right. It definitely the age of the superhero stuff's dying out, because I remember when I first saw Spider-Man back when I was a kid, with Tobey Maguire. I'm like, holy shit, this movie changed my life. I feel like I can actually swing on shit, and then
yeah,
no, but it just had me feeling that way. And then that kind of died off after a while, and I'm like, oh yeah, more Avengers Superman coon. Cool.
now it's just
So
that was just fucking homework. But
yeah, yeah, like okay. So I'm glad to see genres, coming back, and I don't think that's ever really going to be a thing where it stops. I feel like any other time, once it's done run its course, something else will just come along and show new interest, and who knows what new stuff we may get. Because same with comedy. Me personally, I feel like comedy's been a little for
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
while now, dude, and especially with like,
yeah.
yeah, we've been watching a lot of the last comedy movie I watched with my wife was actually yesterday. We watched Bowfinger, and if you know about that, it was about Steve Martin. He's playing his character, and he tricks a character played by Eddie Murphy. He was like a celebrity to play in this movie, except the celebrity was, very paranoid, and he believed in aliens and all that. And so Steve Martin tricked him to thinking that aliens were real, and they were just secretly filming him to make a movie. And it was the funniest thing ever because it was made in '99, and there were certain humors, but it wasn't really like that bad of a humor, that it is today. But I just feel like, it
Yeah.
might be a time for something, new to come out.
I think what killed the comedy, and we'll bring it back to movies, but I think what killed the comedy vibe is at least in part to the movies, like superhero movie and disaster movie. Like you had Scary Movie and that the Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2 were fucking great. After that,
Right.
it's
Written by the Wayans brothers too,
yeah,
because there's always, very specific stuff, but
like we need that style of comedy to come back, and I don't mean like Scary Movie, I mean like Airplane, Hot Shots. I want that
yeah.
like a comedy with an edge to it, and not just trying to be all Chris Pratt with it. Like no shade on Chris Pratt, but like
Yeah. It's a specific humor type. I
yeah,
get in a lot of it, I guess a lot of it's because it's safer. It feels safer and
yeah.
all that, less satirical art. Cause like I said, there's a genre for everybody, even within like its own like with its own subgenres, like again, comedy, dark comedies. When's the last time we had a really good dark comedy? I could be missing something, but I don't know, because
The last one I could think of is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
yeah,
That
you
was
know,
even that was like a decade ago, wasn't it? Holy shit.
yeah, it's been a while. So again, like I said, going back to that, we just been getting a lot of superhero movies, and I guess now we got the new trend of successful video game movie surges coming in. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah, considering what trailers we're talking about today, I think video game movies or just like maybe video game, board game, other that bit of movies are going to be the next thing.
Hmm.
For better or for worse, we'll get to that. But and the I guess last bit of news, we don't know a lot about this. I know Griffin is excited for this. We got a little teaser image with this monster Gigan for a show. Monarch. I need to pull this.
Yeah,
New Monarch show. Eh.
it wouldn't happen to be Monarch Legacy of Monsters, would it?
It's not Monarch Legacy of Monsters. That's a live action show that is very good. And honestly, like it
Mhm.
and that it's on Apple TV, and I wish it wasn't, but if you ever get a chance to watch it on Apple TV, get it like a free week or something, watch it.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can bum a password off my sister for that one. You
Oh yeah.
go,
Like I'm gonna
we
try
go
to get
watch that.
another free week this holiday season because there's like two right now two things on Apple TV I want to watch: Monarch Legacy
Hmm.
of Monsters and Spirit. That's
Hmm.
it. But uh, no, but this
That's
is
good.
an anime we don't know a lot about it. Other than the still that I'm showing on here on the screen, we know it's like Monarch something. We don't know where it stands if it's its own thing. Considering it's called like Monarch something or other, I need to find the title and I keep seeing it and forgetting it. But it there is a good chance this is going to be canon with like the live action films like Godzilla versus Kong, which if it is, considering Toho's and just Japanese companies' stance on just all their rights for all their characters, kind of a big deal. But we'll see, of course, as we get more on that. But again, not much here. Jumping right into trailers. Oh, I didn't move a slide around. Oh well, the last one will be a little bit mundane, but eh. First,
Yeah.
yeah, first on the list, but Night Bitch.
I appreciate the shooting of it. The
Yeah,
dogs, right? I love the dogs and
yeah.
appreciate, just using animals in cinematography and all that. I think it's great. But
Oh yeah. I actually we're talking about horror comedies. I think is this gonna be a horror comedy? Because this falls.
um so okay, I'm sorry. You go ahead. You go ahead here.
Sorry, I was gonna say like because this seems to fall into like this weird genre of movie that's kind of popped up recently in like a genreless film where it's kind of trying to tell a story and like whatever do its own thing.
And again, when I watch it, I think because of the way, like the way they're marketing it it's supposed to, like grab your attention. It feels like it's supposed to be a werewolf, and then it's like pop, like she's just a regular dog, and so and then she's just being all free, but it's like, you know, watching that, it's like to me it came more off of as like a what do you call like those slice of life kind of movies or whatever,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. We had a lot of those in the fucking
right, because it's
'90s.
a lot of it is like, from what I was gathering, it is about womanhood and motherhood and all, because that every time they showed her, it was very specific point of views that
Yeah,
they were showing through her, and the things she had to go through, and then they would show these other scenes like with her just doing it in a much more aggressive way of a dog, like when they showed her like having sex or like eating and all that. And she just it's like, I'm a mom who just done lost it and I just went feral, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
right, yeah, that stuff. And it's like, I mean, if your mom ever just sat there, she just started going wild, like who knows? Because like, they have like changes, but I do feel like it is for, specific audiences. I just didn't know if I was right to give, a full, like, well, here's my opinion on it, and why is she upset? Because like I
No,
can't give a full point of view of the woman, but I appreciate for what it is though, because I feel like it is that message.
I'm kind of the same spot. The only thing I feel like I could comment on is how again, like you mentioned, it's like a werewolf movie, but then it goes like, oh, it's just a dog. It kind of jumps, it plays with expectations a bit. From
Hmm.
a filmmaking standpoint, I kind of appreciate just how jarring that is.
Right.
Like it's just like, oh, like, this wasn't what I expected. This could be fun. Like I'm with you. There's not a. It goes for a very specific crowd, a very specific kind of message. This may come as a shock. I'm not a mother. I can't relate to that.
You
But
know, the closest I can relate is I got a dog.
yeah.
It's like,
Look over your dog. You want to see this movie?
right, hey, find somebody you like. Oh wait, you're neutered. You don't have those feelings.
Like
Rip.
honestly, this could go anyway. For all we know, this could end up being like the date movie. Like who knows?
Right, right. Again, it's a cute movie to definitely, if you don't know what else to take your date on, hey, why not that, right? Because that's something that there's a lot of stuff on there that, came off as funny. So, if this is dark in any way, then hey, dark comedy right there.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
If that's the case, if that's even the case. But you know,
Like Mike,
it's
yeah,
cute if anything.
it's cute. I might keep an eye on it, might not, and we'll see as we learn
We'll
more.
see.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll wait for it to come out when it's streaming.
hell yeah, hell yeah. Ooh, like you mentioned, you had something on this Frankie Frico.
Ah, yes, Frankie Frico. Since we're on the subject of dark fantasy, at least a little bit earlier
Oh
here.
yeah,
So I guess the first thing I'd like to point out is again, yeah, dark fantasy. If you actually watch the full trailer and stuff, for anybody who wanted to look it up here, it's basically Gremlins. It's like, but all you and the Gremlins get into some deeper shit, and
yes,
y'all are going. And I love that. I love that this dude, this nerdy dude, who again, he just starts off lives the perfect life, perfect girlfriend, perfect everything, and he just calls the wrong people to party, and then his life turns upside down. This, you know, I like how it transitioned from that suburban area and it just goes into this big old dark city, and you just got these gremlin dudes all over the place. You
yeah,
know, this is wonderful. I'm like, that's great. And all the stuff they get into. I'm like, this is that dark fantasy, like the way they do the settings, specifically because I appreciate this the most, the puppets. They're
yes.
using the puppet animation, yes. And so wonderful.
Yeah, the
I love
puppet.
it.
Yeah, the puppets and how they move. Like when I saw this, all I could think of was like that weird like hyper specific subgenre of film we got in the '90s. Think like Garbage Pail Kids, Little Monsters, and just
Right.
like this is probably for kids, but we're gonna do a whole bunch of gross shit that's probably for adults, and we're gonna have weird creatures running around everywhere. Like
This
there's a
is
lot.
it's like this is like one of the best, hey, let's all y'all want to hang out and have a movie night. We watch this,
Oh fuck
order some
yeah.
pizza or something. Like again, this is like what I picture when we get together and watch this kind of stuff,
Oh,
these kind of
absolutely.
movies.
This is
Is that
definitely a movie night with friends kind of movie.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's not much to say about it. If the trailer doesn't grab you, you have poor taste. No, I'm not kidding.
I mean, it's fun at least. If you don't have fun with the trailer, I don't know, but still give it a try.
Yeah,
If you need me to watch it with anybody else here who's interested in need company watching this stuff, I'm always down.
you ain't getting Citizen Kane. I mean, look at this beautiful face in the
It's
picture.
just right, like sexy,
Yeah,
constipated,
that's that's
great.
that's me after I have Taco Bell.
You sit there with the fiery shits.
Yeah, just mm.
Like, oh boy, nigga, that Diablo sauce cooking up.
Oh my god. What we got next? Ooh, completely total shit on this one list. Squid Game season 2. Ooh.
Yes. So, funny enough, when I first watched this, was with my old roommate, and I end up finishing it, or at least watching it again with my now wife. At the time we were engaged, and very interesting. Squid Game, Squid Game. So assuming that y'all already know about it, you know, money, everyone poor, fight for your life. Yay, get this guy wins. Now, what got me really interested, what I was waiting for the second season was, the way the first season ended, and that was the fact that this dude dyed his hair like all red, and he was like looking like this, like a Korean Joker, like a Ronald McDonald or something like that. And I'm like, what is this guy gonna do? The trailer itself doesn't give off much info. It just shows like the numbers and all that, and that's pretty much all it is. Like it's like they already assume that you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That if you already watched it. So in terms of the actual trailer, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Other the fact that my prediction is that he is probably going to go all Korean Joker and put chaos to the order that is the Squid Gaming.
Oh, so believe it or not, I was looking this up earlier. There actually is. It's not just the teaser that this image has with the countdown.
Mhm.
There actually is a short trailer.
Really?
And yeah, you're right. What you're hoping for seems to be happening. Like,
Oh boy, we're gonna get a since he's already committed to the part, we're gonna get like a what is it we live in a society Joker laugh too.
he's not like going to Joker Lab, but basically the group that does the Squid Game that actually organizes it. Because he won with his winnings, he doesn't want to have go through people there. So he's basically being their Joker, and they're trying to like be like, no, it's not that easy. And
Mhm.
and from the shots we see, like he's probably gonna try to like fuck everything up from the inside because we see him and like four other people in the pink suits holding guns to somebody. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? like
Chaos, I love it.
and there's not a whole lot of like the actual games. I think I don't know. Like the trailer is just like, what's gonna happen? Will there be games? Is shit gonna blow up? Who knows?
Who knows? Bats, I am the games.
Yeah, it's like it's just two crazy people going head to head, trying to outsmart and out crazy each other. That's what
You know what? You're right. That is how it's gonna work. Because again, he's gonna be Korean Joker here with the red hair. It's all gonna have his whole theme. He's gonna have his little Joaquin Phoenix. And then they're gonna have, instead of Batman, it's just gonna be a Korean Batman, but he's Squid Man instead. And this is gonna be a fight between those two.
My God, he's gonna distort the pink suit so he has like tentacles and shit.
No.
I am Squid Man.
Are you ready for these Squid Games?
No more Squid Games, Joker.
Oh man! And meanwhile, because we live in society, we got to hear his story about how he was poor and he had to do really shitty shit. You created this monster.
You want to know how I got this?
you know. Oh Jesus!
I want a comic about Squidman now.
Right, Squidman versus Korean Joker. Oh my God. Okay. But yeah,
that's a
that's
redeem
pretty much
idea.
all we really got. Again, the rest is just like your imagination for that. Which for me, it's fun for me because who knows what could happen here.
That's a redeem idea I have. I might just pull him from the trailer with the pink hair, put like cheap Joker makeup over his mouth, and just you want to know how I got this bit? How these bits as
It's
a
so
redeem?
backwards, right? It's like if Joker was good and Batman was evil.
Yeah.
Everything's flipped.
Oh my gosh. Oh, but no, like it. I am probably gonna see this because I didn't watch the first season of Squid Game till way after the hype started dying
Right.
down.
Right,
Um,
yeah, because I can definitely understand not just want to run into the hype, but just being able to form your own opinion. You'd be surprised how good some of this stuff is. And I really appreciate a little Pokemon. I just again I appreciate the tension that they always bring to the show, especially
yes.
because when you're really sitting there, you think about it's like I could die here, dude. Like for real, I could die.
Oh
It's
yeah.
yeah, they do a really good job keeping that tension in, and especially with Korean dramas and how they like to shoot. It just has a nice I guess sampling of every kind of genre in there. So even though it had its funny moments, the tragedies and all that, it's a really good story, and I'm really excited to see how this is all going to play out in the end.
I am too. And if you haven't watched Squid Game season one, it is very good. The hype was
Yeah.
there for a reason. It is a very good season one. I'm excited for how weird season two could be. Uh, season two, if I remember the order correctly. Oh, never mind. I don't have to worry about this first. Uh, I knew I should have put the shows side by side. But hey, let's go with Lord of the Rings: The Legend of Rohirrim, or however you pronounce the Rohirrim. The Rohirrim.
Okay, so let me say this, right? Because it's obvious. The animation to me was so pretty and beautiful that I had to rewatch the trailer because I didn't really understand what was going on. I was just so enamored by it.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is really pretty looking.
Yeah, like the animation
So
is fucking
I
gorgeous.
was like, oh my, it's like, oh, and because of the way the monsters are, there's only so much you could really do, especially at the time, when Lord of the Rings came out, and they did a really good job with its effects. But with technology being what it was at the time as well, the creatures and stuff. I like how, with the animation you could do a little more with the way these creatures are. And I thought I saw some pretty cool looking monsters in the show because it's about that adventure and
Hmm.
and seeing all the wildlife, the monsters, and all that. So again, for me, really excited. And again, I had to rewatch it just so I could understand what's actually going on here because they're all like, "You remember Middle Earth? Well, guess what? I think we're back. I don't know, but man, that's a cool looking dragon."
It's like, hey, you like Lord of the Rings? Good. This is like 200 years before all that shit. New story,
Right?
motherfucker. But
We
like,
weren't done. We'll never be done.
yeah, this does honestly look good. Like, I appreciate. I wish I don't want to talk too much shit on other franchises. I wish Star Wars did more of this, and fans were more appreciative the few times Star Wars did do this, where
Mhm.
we know the one story, we know Lord of the Rings, we know those books. Let's talk about like other stories that happen in the world. Legend of Rohirrim seems to be basically a tale of two kingdoms in Middle Earth before
Mhm.
all the bullshit happened. And you know what? I am here for it. Like that that sounds fucking awesome because we get to see like the eagles, we get to see all like the kick-ass sword fighting and fantasy stuff. It looks like Lord of the Rings, and the animation is beautiful. I don't know how to if I'm overstating this or understating it, but I really am looking forward to this. I'm probably gonna binge this when it comes out.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for it. Oh, right.
There we go. Yeah. Now there's the season one. Arcane season 2. Woo!
Yeah,
Woo!
so same thing. I didn't get too much on the story itself, or what's gonna happen, other than if you've seen like the first season, you know. Yeah, oh the misery.
Oh, the misery.
Oh the misery. The point of view of Jinx, everybody wants to be my enemy.
Oh,
So for me, I guess, since knowing enough about League of Legends lore just in general, and just piecing together things, because this is kind of like its own story here. uh I'm more excited to see what potential champions they may be bringing in, if they do so,
uh, well,
for the new season.
I don't want to give spoilers, but like if you watch season 1, you know the League of Legends lore, and you kind of saw him in
They've
the
been.
clip about the a
Mhm.
certain Claude boy that's going to be there, and that new Edge of Tragedy on his backstory, and I am so fucking here for it. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, see, they up exactly. They were already had all these little mini story and subplots that were leading up to potential of other champions. Again, if you know about the lore about half of these champions on there, I'm like, wait a minute, but this kind of leads to, but so I'm really excited for that. Again, animations are really beautiful. Because it's unique on its own. Personally, I really like it. It's very entertaining to watch.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it's League. It's League,
it's
but it's a show.
it's League of the show, and
You
if
don't have to worry about feeding.
you don't have to worry about feeding, and if you don't know anything about League, to me the best part about Arcane is you don't have to know League of Legends because it's a good show regardless. It's just knowing League stuff makes the show exponentially better. Like
It
it's
definitely just gives little insights on stuff,
yeah,
but it's overall it's a really great ride.
like one of my favorite Easter eggs is one of the early episodes of Arcane where the kids are going into that little knickknack shop and there's a heart of gold on the right on the counter there. It's like, God, why
Right.
do I know what that is? Fuck. But I I am excited for it. I'm a little conflicted because on one hand, I am so fucking happy that we're continuing the Jinx Vi, like all that story, and we're getting like any bit of closure of how to continue because I'm very curious about that.
Hmm.
On the other hand, and maybe this could be addressed later, but I kind of want them to do other stories in this world, in this
Hmm.
style, like because there's so many other like champions or stories that connect that I think people would like to see. Like as annoying as Jinx or not Jinx, Lux is in game with her laugh, her story is kind of fucked, and like that could be really done justice in this kind of show. Like her, Garen, Jarvan, just everything going on there with the mages.
I'll say this, with how expansive League lore is in general, I really wouldn't be surprised if they'll start just doing spin-offs in general with other stories, because it'll probably be like a whole universe thing that they can do.
Oh, okay.
Because you're right, because if you do try to get in some of these other people's stories, it's like a whole new show if you try to start that. So but also take what I say with a grain of salt on that, just because of the fact that this is its own story anyways. So who knows how any of that'll play out. But it's just, I'm probably expecting that maybe there'll be like another spin-off
Yeah.
with other characters, and they'll still probably be introducing more champions in Arcane, but who knows, like in something else on the other side of the world, in Ionia, you got like the story of Yasuo and Master Yi and whoever is going on. Who knows? Because I mean, sword fighting, cool stuff. You got Yone, like Arcane or League, just these series, animated series, they have a good potential to go really hardcore anime with some of these fights,
Mhm.
instead of just being high tech pew pew and hammers. Not saying anything for Arcane that it's boring or anything. Like again, they have really great drama and action scenes and all that, but it's just the potential with these champions that you could do some really crazy stuff.
And actually, that's a fun question. If you were to have, if there was like, say Arcane does well and they announce they're going to do more spin-offs like that, either be it a new Arcane or just a new spin-off connected to Arcane, which
Hmm.
story would you be like most excited to see, or like which like area would be most excited to learn about?
you know, I'm glad you are bringing that up because I would like to see stuff happening with the Ruined King because now that we have
Oh, with Viego?
Viego,
Yeah.
because there's like a whole because remember you got people it's like a whole spirit thing because that's all tied to Gwen from the newest champions like the oldest ones, but you have like Viego, Gwen, you have Lucian, Thresh, Senna, like they're all because there's like a whole thing in the spirit world, and then you
Yeah.
got the Void, so you got like all of the like Cho'Gath,
Oh,
Mount or was it Maokai? Not Maokai. I'm sorry,
Malzahar.
Kog'Maw.
Like,
Yeah, you have Malzahar. Yeah, Malzahar and just Cassidy. Those two alone because they're not even originally from the Void. They end up in there, but then you have like the Void, all those champions, monsters, we want to call them, who are born in the Void. So Cho'Gath and all of them. How are they going to get introduced? Because in Arcane right now, it's just Piltover and Noxus, and that's like a big old kingdom political thing going on, and then you just got like all this other stuff happening that's outside of the world.
yeah.
So that's what I'm excited for because we could easily go into like the three kingdoms and maybe eventually they'll start introducing Ionia because again that's where Master Yi, Irelia, Yone, Yasuo, that's where they all come from. So and again they're very like in this corporeal like here we are, but what about the spirit world and the chaos areas or the void? That's what I mean. You have the spirit world and the chaos, so or void.
Like, I think
So yeah, those.
I think the most likely well probably would be Demacia, but if I were to make a pick, I would actually would love like a treat it like a buddy cop with so much fucking homoerotic undertones of just the story of Twisted Fate and Graves through Bilgewater and their bullshit.
Well, and you're probably going to get a lot more sooner. As a matter of fact, I was already expecting Demacia and Bilgewater to show up because they're already uh, connected in this show. You know, they've already had a lot of Bilgewater references and Demacian, and not to mention, you have Piltover versus Noxus, and Noxus is like their biggest beef is with Demacia. So
Mm-hmm.
it's to me, in my opinion, it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. I hope the show does well. I hope it's
Yeah,
at least as good as season one, and we get more stories out of this. Because Riot, as long as it's not making their game, they make a quality product.
right. Absolutely. Balancing.
But God, I hate
Yeah.
how true that statement is. Like Riot's good at making everything but their game.
hmm Even with their fighting game, and I don't even know about that. Like, I still want to try it.
Same.
That League fighting game, like, interesting. I
Yeah.
don't know how good I'm going to be at it, but uh,
We'll see.
at least you can't feed in that one. It's just how many times you're going to sit there and get punched in the face. Like, learn to
Like
block at that point.
for the fighting game I'm looking forward to is Dragon Ball, but I guess I switched
Oh,
over
yeah.
the slides and oh the sheep. This sheep encapsulates how I feel about the Minecraft movie. How much I'm screaming internally.
Well, Minecraft movie, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just start by this, right? If anything, I like seeing Jack Black personally. I like seeing that man.
Same.
Seeing him as a Steve, I'm like, huh, this is gonna be very interesting because like you have Jason Momoa as this Dora the Explorer looking
Well,
uh
right.
dude. I don't know. Again, I don't know this trailer didn't really give much context other than like chaos, right?
Yeah.
So it's because it's Minecraft. What are you really gonna sit there and make the movie about on a real level? Other than they had like the little kid, I guess he's gonna go in and build something. We assume there's gonna be a main bad guy. He's got to save the world of Minecraft. Yeah, but that seems I don't know. Another part of me is like, if you're gonna make a movie about Minecraft, you actually play Minecraft. Like, what could it actually be about? I don't know, like Minecraft drama. We've all played Minecraft and had Minecraft drama. So I don't know. This
Yeah,
kid ends up joining a server. He gets griefed on. I don't know.
I,
These are the characters griefing on.
honestly, I would have loved a movie of just basically just like a server of like 10 people and they're just like slowly start blowing each other's houses up with TNT or shit.
Right. It's the movie's just about this kid getting raped on his Christian Minecraft server.
Like this, there is if I'm being honest, there are shots in this trailer
Mhm,
that I look at them and go, okay, that looks like Minecraft. This looks fun and charming because no matter what, to follow suit with like Sonic and Mario, they had to like do high def. Like as much as we like the Minecraft style, a whole movie in that style may not work as well as you'd think. But I like the first like the opening shot where it kind of just shows the world and everything is blocky. I think that's a great shot. Like, yeah, that's Minecraft.
mhm.
I love that shot. The little gimmick where Jason Momoa starts crafting something and he just goes well bam on the table and the thing just appears. That's funny. That's
Mhm.
Minecraft. I am so torn on how realistic all the creatures look. And like I know it's moss on the creeper and like it's wool on the sheep and everything, but like every single mob in this game or in the movie looks hairy, and it's so weird. I don't
It's
know.
it's Minecraft with textures.
It's
It's
the
actual pop outable textures because we're so used to seeing flat and square.
oh my gosh,
I never considered it's like these really weird chia pets.
who's making the? Oh, I just looked up the. Oh, okay, so it's literally. I just looked up the synopsis. It's literally gonna be about fighting the Ender Dragon.
Okay, well, so then this kid is role playing
Yeah,
as his as Jack Black. I assume I'm gonna have
yeah,
some Jumanji going on here,
yeah.
and he's gonna go fight the end. Right,
That's what's going on. These
which
people are stuck in Minecraft. They team up with Steve to face challenges and craft the Ender Dragon. Which, okay, knowing that, what else can you really do in Minecraft? Like, you're gonna make a Minecraft movie. Like, that's yeah,
I still like the idea of Minecraft drama and the kid getting bullied on a
yeah.
server.
That's
He's trying to get his Ender Dragon shit, his diamond gear, and he keeps getting fucking bullied out of shit. He's like, "What's this fucking loser ass house?" And starts beating him up, stealing his stuff. Minecraft drama is real drama.
dude. Fuck yeah. Like, I kind of want them to release a Minecraft texture pack, like an official one that looks like the Minecraft movie. I might download it just so I could just kill this fucking sheep. I don't know.
Looking quite craftable.
God, it's I. This does look. It could be fun, but there's nothing in the trailer that looks like it's going to be god awful. It's just confusing, and there's a few shots of good and mostly confusing. Is what I glean from the trailer.
Yeah, realistically, I expected it to just be an adventure movie, with Minecraft references, because that's really what kids
Yeah,
want to see.
yeah, yeah. It is like think like fucking Jungle Cruise or shit like that. Which also, side note, if you ever seen the movie Jungle Cruise, great fucking movie, underrated.
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, it's just The Rock
Oh
trying.
yes, yes. I have seen this multiple times at the office of where I used to work here because they like putting this on all the time. That and strangely Holes. I'm so tired of seeing Holes, but I have seen Jungle Cruise.
It's not perfect, but it's very underrated. Like
It's
I
really fun to watch. I'll
yeah,
say this, like especially when I'm sitting there and wondering what's going on. It really did remind me of again like Jumanji and all that. Again,
yeah,
uh, the thing is though, I never watched it with audio. I've always read the subtitles while it was just going. I just because I'm usually I was on the phone listening to somebody you know
oh, the
needing help.
it's worth a watch, bro. It's fine, but yeah. Moving on to the next thing. Ah, here's the trailer. I know Griffin's not excited for it all. No, but
What Sonic 3?
no, this looks fun as hell. This looks fun as hell.
Yeah, Sonic 3, I'll say so I'll say this. What I like about the Sonic series is I like that they're keeping, at least some kind of like, faithfulness to um to like their backstories and whatnot. You know, they still be like, you know, Shadow the Hedgehog, he's the edgier version of Sonic because even though he was also a science experiment, he had it better.
Yeah.
But again, I think for what a lot of people, because I've been hearing a lot of people's inputs lately about this movie, or at least for the trailer for it, is, you know, the fact that Jim Carrey, because I love Jim Carrey, and I like that he's reprising his role here for like the third time for this movie.
Yeah, I know the joke how like Jim Carrey retiring from acting now means as much as Hayao Miyazaki retiring from making anime.
Right, like okay, sure, bro. Yeah, we'll see you next time, right? Like, okay, bro,
Yeah.
sure. Because but what I like about it is it's just like it really feels like when Jim Carrey's acting in this stuff, like he's really just like, I'm here just doing this because I enjoy doing it. That's just how I'm getting it because
Yeah, that's
like I don't know,
what makes
he's
it
really
better.
fun and he's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, the fact that he's only doing it because he enjoys it, it's gonna make it better. Like,
Right.
because I like the first Sonic movie, I like the second one considerably more.
Hmm.
I kind of hope the third one follows suit. I love that I kind of called Keanu Reeves as Edgy the Hedgy, but
Hmm.
that's a great voice. Just the lines in the thing. You're a colorful
It
bunch.
is. You're
Yeah.
literally seeing how he's just going John Wick on everybody,
Yeah.
and Knuckles did throw the first punch. So
I love how he doesn't wait for them to power up or call the attack. Like, so I was like, all right, I'll just like, oh shit, and then
right, and just gets wrecked. Also, I like the fact that that they're again because this is I guess this is kind of like a two-parter comment here, but I like the fact that they introduced Dr. Eggman's dad because you know he had you know Dr. Eggman in the original series. He had a supposed beef with his dad. It's like my dad was just you know was just a mad scientist, or was it his grandpa? I'm not sure.
Gerald was his dad. But I'm not super versed in the Sonic lore, but I do remember seeing that is his
I
dad.
remember there was yeah just and again I guess I should have just brushed up more on Sonic lore. If
Oh, it's a
anybody else you know knows
grandfather.
about that,
Okay.
ah okay. So in the movie is that his grandfather too? That's what I'm wondering. No, he said
Oh,
father right in the trailer.
did he? I think
You know
maybe.
that's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Either way, it's getting a little Sonic Adventure 2-ish, and that's what I'm wondering because it kind of goes back to this like a second part to this comment here. I like how in every movie they always in some way tease something from another one of their games into the movie. You know, like after the first one, then they tease like you know Tails, and then after the second one, you know you had like Knuckles. Well, just Tails, and then Knuckles came in, and then the second movie, you know, like we knew that the whole thing with Shadow and all that probably was going to happen. They have like the little spoilers and stuff ahead. So I'm just wondering if we're going to start going full on Sonic verse with this.
Like,
And I'm like, huh, the only thing this game is missing is the bet and chows, and then we're just gonna have a whole chow raising segment for these Sonic Adventure 2 movies.
there's gonna be a Disney Plus series where they're just raising
Right.
Chow.
Right, exactly. It's just gonna be him watching them sit there farming animals and little chaos drives, so they can sit there and have illegal chow fights.
Dude, like a fucking BBC style, like going through the chows hosted by Big the Cat. That should be fucking hilarious.
Right, it's just gonna like pull like a whole thing, and I'm like, man, we let too many of these things in here because they're ruining our life.
I want them to do a documentary with the voice of Big the Cat. Welcome to my Chow Sanctuary. This is my froggy. As long as enough shows are actually about the characters, we'll see. But no, like
Hey,
one thing I'm hoping for with this, like I said, I'm not super well versed in Sonic lore. I assume at one
mhm.
point in the movie, Sonic and Shadow are going to fight. I mean, like a poster,
Prediction, Super
but
Saiyan, Shadow, and
oh,
Sonic.
absolutely, I want to see some DBZ shit on screen.
Right, like they, you know, because they already got Shadow, you know, nothing personnel and kids, everybody, and you know, just so we have. Oh, actually, did he even do any chaos control stuff? Like, did he say that? Because now I'm thinking about it.
He didn't say it, but like he moved as if he did. It's weird. Like I said,
Right, yeah. So I'm wondering how that's gonna work because you know the emeralds.
Like
or
one
Power Stones.
So one thing I don't know which way it'll go, but like I had an idea that I told Griffin is what if what we see in the trailer of them just trying to go to Shadow is basically just like the first half. And like
Mhm.
and and I'm only saying that because everything with Dr. Robotnik and Gerald Robotnik, that's gonna lead to something. And
Right.
we know from the trailer that Robotnik is willingly given one of the Sonic's quills. So just
Mhm.
like, what if they have their like fight up to a certain point, do their little Shadow the Hedgehog thing, focus on him for a bit, and then just they team up to fight Metal Sonic or
You know, at this point, I feel like the sky is the limit when it comes to these movies here because they do a really good job of not spoiling,
yeah,
uh, major things. So it's speculation at this point, which is the great part about trailers. I don't like trailers that do just spoil everything because, you know,
yeah. Like this is a good trailer. Like I know the rough broad strokes of some of the things, but I still feel there's going to be a lot more in this movie. Uh, to me, an example of a good trailer it's a bad movie, but the first Suicide Squad movie, it really
mhm.
had some really good trailers if you go back and watch them because they didn't reveal shit. Like,
Right. They didn't.
like I wish I could. I hate that that's my go-to because again, the first Suicide Squad movie was kind of bad, but it had good trailers. All we like what we know about the movie going in: Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and these people are going to be in it.
The
That's
second
it.
one was the one with the star the face hugger star God, I forget that thing's
I
name.
think it's just called Starro, but yeah,
Star, yeah, that was the second one though, right?
that was the second one.
There
The
was, yeah, I really like that one.
Oh yeah,
Because I can't remember. I know I saw the first one, but I for some reason just draw a blank of what really happened in that one.
it
Sadly enough.
yeah, no, it's just kind of a forgetful. There's so many kind of nothing things that happen in it, but yeah. Uh, no, this trailer for Sonic 3, it's a good trailer. It's good. Look, the first two movies are good. This movie looks good. I don't know what else to really say about it other than I'm very likely going to see this in theaters because it looks good and I like the previous two.
It's a fun watch, and and also it's you know, in all intents and purposes, like a kids movie for how it was. Like me, I'm just imagining like if I were back in like my 10-year-old self watching this, especially when I or like 12 when I was playing like Sonic Adventure 2, I would think this is like the shit. So,
Oh,
just looking back on my kid self, I think this is a fantastic, at least the first two were fantastic. I really, I'm like, hey, it's Sonic, gotta go fast. I like the humor and stuff of it. Yeah, it's not perfect and all that, but I mean, it's a kids movie. What do you expect at a certain point,
if video game movies is the next thing, you know what video game movie I would really want to see? Like
what would
uh,
that be?
in an action horror movie about Castlevania.
You know, or on that subject from earlier, Dark Fantasy Castlevania. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
like
We could make something like that happen, especially because it came out in '87.
yeah, like it absolutely. Like, here's the thing: the anime that came out for Castlevania, great. You haven't watched that?
Yes.
Wonderful. But
Hmm.
like I just I know this is a weird jump, but like I rewatched like the Smash Ultimate character trailers again recently. I don't even know why I was on that fucking path on YouTube. But I watched the Castlevania one and seeing like Simon in like high def, I'm like, you know, that costume really could translate well to more of a live action setting.
Exactly, because it's that whole his original design having that whole Conan the Barbarian. Because again, Castlevania had a lot of its it was heavily inspired by a lot of media here anyways,
Yeah.
or yeah, like again the whole barbarian look, but then you had like the Castlevania itself, the Dracula, uh the lore from all that, it's actually based off like Bram Stoker's Dracula specifically. So if you ever seen Bram Stoker's Dracula with uh Gary Oldman, like that's like the closest you're probably going to get to like a live action Castlevania minus the whip and holy powers, because
Yep.
it is heavily based off of that.
Yep.
And yeah, translating that into a dark fantasy setting, yeah, it would I think personally it would just work really well.
There's so many video games that could work well in movies. Like I kind of hope that that is the next thing after superheroes. Oh, obviously I do want more monster movies, but because of bias. But if video
Mhm.
game movies turn into the next thing, I'm not mad. We've gotten some good ones lately.
Well, like I said, like with monster movies, again, that's why Castlevania would be great because I think you could still keep it a nice, action horror, but still keep it to where it's like it's not like the kind of horror where everyone's just sitting there shitting their pants. I'll say this, kind of like how they did um Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, but just better.
Oh, that's a guilty pleasure
Because
movie for me. Oh,
like I say, but you could just do that like better. Because I'm like, y'all are really close on there, but like we could transform it into something else. Really, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential with that.
there is, and you mentioned like Castlevania again, like on a detour, and don't feel bad if you have to, but I want to
Hmm.
say again, I do like that Van Helsing movie. I acknowledge it's
Hmm.
flawed, but like it's a guilty pleasure for
I love
me.
it though too. Yeah.
Yeah, I love and wish more werewolf movies had a werewolf transformation like Van Helsing, where they're just
Hmm.
ripping skin off and things are just kind of
Right.
like that was a cool transformation.
Right. It was really dark, and you know, I just think if they were to remake it for what today's technological standards, or just like the way our technology is when it comes to like CG graphics, man, I think they could, if they do a remake for Van Helsing, or at least do that sequel that it was teased to be when it ended. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't it end on the possibility that they could make another one, or did it just end? I want to
It
feel like that there was like thoughts or talks about there being another one,
it
like a
ended
Van Helsing 2.
on like a vague like what's gonna happen next, like not with a specific character,
Right.
but like they opened up the door for possible sequel.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I'll say this, right? Because you know, talking about Castlevania and all that, they could probably sit there and write their own version of it. It's like, hey, if Konami don't give a fuck about Castlevania, maybe we'll sit there and make a Bram Stoker like Castlevania like with Van Helsing.
hell yeah. Oh, and I should have talked about this trailer earlier, but oh wait no. So one more before I get to this, but here's another trailer that I know you're excited for, and I am
Yes,
Uzumaki. Man,
Uzumaki. Yes,
Junji Ito at this point. Can we is so that Junji Ito is just like the Stephen King of Japan?
you know, I I'm trying to remember. There was going to be when Kojima. I'm really sad about this too, but Uh, I remember when Kojima was trying to do his Silent Hill when we had like that whole playtester thing,
Yeah,
and apparently it was rumored that he was meeting up with Junji Ito to make a movie or at least make a game with him. So Silent Hill could have had a lot of Junji Ito references and just a lot of his works in it. And I'm sad that never actually happened. But I guess to start with just Uzumaki in general for this trailer before I completely trail off on that. I'm just really excited to watch it based off just the animations on it. Like I love that they stuck with that manga style and the way that it animated. Me personally, it looks really good. Like I watched the trailer a few times and I was just getting lost into the actual animations. It looks so good. It looks so clean. I'm super excited for that.
I think you had to do that with Junji Ito. He has such a specific
Right,
style. If you were to like
right,
redraw that and like to something different, like something like the Lord of the Rings, it wouldn't feel right. Like you have,
right, exactly.
and that's such a God. Once more movies or more things he's released come into the fold, I want to talk more about podcast for now. But
Mhm.
Junji Ito, he's achieved something that so many artists wish they could say is that his style is so good and so specific
Mhm.
that no one dares try to stray from it when adapting.
Right. And you know, just like when you were talking about guilty pleasures and all that, I really enjoy Junji Ito. I'm probably one of the very few people that kind of did like the animated stuff from before, just because I really enjoy watching this stuff, and it's cool seeing those horror scenes in action, actually seeing them play out. It may not look like the way people wanted it to, but for me personally, I really enjoy watching them because
Yeah.
I read through all of the stories, so I already knew what's happening here. And so I was able to just watch it for what it was because everything went by the way that I remember reading it. And so, like I know people weren't a big fan of that recent anime that came out, but again, like one of my favorite stories was like the one where there was it was a family and they were pretty much pretending to be, ghost mediums, and they weren't. They were actually using like flour and like water to make like some weird ectoplasm crap, and then they had like a lot of family drama, and it turns out they actually end up getting haunted for real. And just like, it's just really one of those like,
Yeah.
yeah, y'all are garbage, you end up succumbing to your stuff. Again, I understand that the animation stuff weren't perfect, but to me it was like a slideshow anyways. I just really enjoyed it. So to see this though in like full manga like animation, uh the voice acting for Japanese, even though I don't understand Japanese, it still sounds great. It just,
It,
again, that's all I can really say. Is just I'm just really excited for it.
so, like, and I've read a few of the Junji Ito stories. The one that I haven't read is actually Uzumaki. I I don't know why. There's no reason for me not to because I've read Gyo. I love Gyo.
Hmm.
I love the short that's in the end of every fucking copy of Gyo where it's
Hmm.
like the holes in the cliff. Like this hole is made for me. I
Right.
such a weird fucking horror, but still kind of terrifying. Um,
It is.
that show that came out previously, yeah, it was choppy, but like I love how I do like how they adapted the balloon head story of just
Hmm.
and how
Right.
disturbing that
It's
actually is.
creepy, right? Because it's
Yeah,
still creepy. And I'm like, it's, again, I know like a lot of people, and there was another one where it was like where that whole trend of CG animated animes were coming out. I remember Jujitsu, they had one like that. But this recent one, even though people didn't like it, I still think it was a better animation than the one that came out before that was just all CG. Because yeah, exactly, the floating, the balloon heads and all that, I'm like, dude, this is really creepy though. Like they did a good job animating, in my opinion, how all that crap will play out.
yeah. And I think before I watched this, I'm probably gonna read Uzumaki to finally read that again. There's no reason for me not to. I want to read it. I just
Hmm.
forget, but I want to read it and I want to watch it. It just looks good, man.
Yeah.
and and yeah, if you like
Well,
horror, if you like the spooky, we're approaching spooky season, so
plus, I mean, with it being on Adult Swim and Max, I mean,
they're not gonna
this
censor
is like
shit.
it's on the 20, right, and it's dropping on, what is that, the I think it's the 28th, or was that the 26th of this month? Like right around the corner.
I think it's the 20. Oh, let me look at this up quick. Yeah, September 28th at 12:30 a.m.
Awesome.
Yeah, so because yeah, you could take so many stills from the trailer, and they're just one to one, just pulled from the fucking main. I appreciate
Hmm.
the hell out of that.
Finally, some justice.
Now,
Well,
if they do the same thing with Kyo, holy shit, people are gonna be so weirded the fuck
well,
out.
and that's, yeah. You know what? Because that actually does remind me. Because I was going to ask you, what would be your the one that you'd like to come out? Well, clearly for you, Gio, if you wanted to, if that was going to be your answer for that. Yeah, but yeah, I did want to ask you, like, if they could do another one, what would you like to see them do?
Like realistically, um, like as much as I want to see Go, there is another one. I'm trying to think of the title. Fuck. Look at a classroom setting. This is gonna bug me. Junji Ito
So he's got a
Dissolving classroom,
few.
is it? No, that's not it. That's the new one. There's another one that's like a. No,
So there were a few. I know they had. Let's see. No, because Tomi's about an actual girl. She's just.
maybe. Wait, is it like a high school girl?
Yeah, it's a high school. Is that one the one?
That's it. Okay, yeah. I think
So
that's
it's
the one that's
Tommy.
probably the most likely
Okay,
after the
yeah,
Uzumaki.
Tommy. Because it's probably one of his next biggest, like one of his bigger stories that he has.
Yeah. Like
So yeah, Tommy for sure.
I think that's like the most likely that's gonna come through. I would want to see Gyo just because again I am a monster kid and
Hey, Gil was great. Like to be honest, I'm actually not. I'm actually reading through it now because I'm halfway through it. So I've been collecting those omnibuses as of late.
yeah,
So I'm
it goes
halfway through it
places.
right now.
Yeah, it fucking goes places, man. That's why I like
Right,
the
like parasite mech armor for fishes and
yeah.
shit. You know, like what the fuck? Like that's crazy, dude.
Dude, also just a fucking chase scene where a shark with spider legs chases you through a house.
Right.
What the
The
fuck?
ever classic and infamous Gershunk.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the shark Gershunk.
Like, oh,
It's like that moment. I'm like, oh, you know what? You know, again, going back to that meme, the Leonardo meme, like, oh, that scene right there, pointing
yeah.
at the TV. We got it, folks. Gershunk, I could die happily now.
Looking at like the most infamous stories, and like apparently the one that's like taking the cake as the most infamous is one I've never fucking heard of. The human chair.
The
Fuck.
human chair.
Terror in the comfort of your own home. God, that sounds like a tagline from a shitty horror. But it's Junji Ito, so it's probably
Oh,
going to be messed up. I've never
no, I
heard of
think
this
I.
one.
Oh, I have not seen this one. What?
I'm probably going to read this one tonight. I'm going to look this up, see if I can find
The
it.
human chair, like you. So I'm looking at one of the panels. It is literally just a dude-sized shaped hole inside of a reclining chair. I'm like, he just kind of X's it like it's an armor, like mech armor or something, you know?
What the fuck?
Like it's a what?
I'm so curious. Like, I've never heard of this, and apparently it's like a really, like, maybe it's just a really weird one and people like going to it. I don't know.
I mean, that sounds like a horror to me. The human chair. I could imagine, or I could imagine being a human chair. Like you imagine all the farts you got to sit there and just absorb. Like that's awful, dude. Like
you're,
a human. No.
that'd be a hell on earth. Oh my god, you're doomed to be a recliner, and you have to absorb all of the Taco Bell farts.
Oh Jesus. Oh
Ugh.
God. Yeah. No, that is a terrible horror story. Please kill me now.
And your grandma's recliner too, so it's gonna be the old person farts,
No.
and the only thing on the TV is Days of Our Fucking Lives.
Oh, and heads up, it was prune juice day.
Oh fuck.
Bowels are flowing, and they ran out of human diapers.
Grandma like, oh, I pooped a little. Uh, uh,
Fucking grandma.
uh, before we derail too much. There it is. There's the one I should have put earlier. Y2K. Uh,
Oh yes.
uh,
Okay, I'll go let you start.
so this, like, I'll be honest. Like, as soon as it's a horror movie for Y2K, like, I mean, like, okay, this is an easy premise. What if Y2K happened? And like, I wasn't expecting fucking full on maximum overdrive shit going on with Lawnmower Man effects on the computer. This is like every here's the all horror from the 90s. Get it out of your fucking system and I'm here for it.
Right. So I like to start. I do love A24 production movies. I personally am a fan of their works because I really just like watching surreals like psychedelic horrors and whatnot. Like it's just mind trippy stuff. I've seen so many of them. I could be here all night talking about those. But seeing I love their production company, and apparently the crew that because it was in the credits that the crew that worked on Hereditary. If you ever seen that,
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
they so like the weird, even though it to me it's again dark comedy, right? Because
Yeah.
this is kind of what I was when I was bringing up dark comedy, how they need to bring some more of that stuff back. This being 1999 Y2K. What if it actually happened? when I saw a lot of those gory like scenes and stuff on it, but seeing how funny it was, like I think I understand where they're gonna go with all this, and I'm happy to see this because it definitely is goofy, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Very 90s gore, but the way A24 does their shooting, uh how do I put it? It's like, you ever seen the movie Pearl
Yeah.
or
Oh,
X?
yeah. Yeah. I've
It's like all the chaos that happens in that, but as robots, and you got these kids sitting there running around getting killed, murdered by robots, right?
yeah.
And it's like a certain intensity that they have of it. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to see that. And then apparently, the guy who wrote this, what's his name? I'm gonna look it up real quick. He apparently was involved. I know he was writing for SNL. Let me look up his name. He was actually in a couple of shows. He was involved with the writing of like Rick and Morty episodes. Let's see,
Uh,
Y2K. I'll get his name up right now.
Kyle Mooney.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how, because he wrote this
Oh, what the fuck?
apparently. Yeah, he wrote this, and so that's why I'm like, all right, Kyle Mooney. I wonder what you have to offer for this, because again, I like the way the trailer was being played out. I expect to be um I expect for there to be a lot of violent hilarity.
Yeah. He's God. This guy, the writer's done voices for a lot of stuff.
He
He,
has, yes.
he did a voice for. That's a show that every time I see a clip where I want to watch. Did you ever watch a Dig Man?
I don't believe I have.
It's just like a adult kind of adventure comedy, but like it's think of it is to Indiana Jones what Rick and Morty is to Back to the Future. Same general concept, but it kind of goes all over the place.
Mhm.
There's one line. It's super fucking stupid, but there's one line that always gets me because of how absurd and stupid it is. They're basically in this ship, and they keep going down the levels, and the whole ship is just man powered, and all these people know from their like birth to death is just working in this little layer of the ship. Like, oh, these people, all they do is just turn the crank all day, and they get like an hour break, and then that's it. And then they get the sleep for a little bit, and then it's back to work, and they get a little protein bar. That's it. And then below that, it's even worse. And then when he started going down there, because before they started descending the levels, they were loving the ship. And when this guy goes down to like see how bad everything is, he just goes, "Oh no, this topia has gone from you to this." It's such a stupid line.
You that's funny, but hey, sometimes that's all you need. You just
Yeah,
need that one good zinger.
yeah. I, like it's a dumb line, but no, like he voiced the character in that. Like I'm seeing what he's writing. What the hell is Brigsby Bear?
Um,
Holy
because I'm looking at what he has been playing. Because yeah, he does play voice acts a lot of stuff here.
yeah.
Brigsby Bear. What year was that? Are you seeing that there?
It's on his list. It's very recent. Oh fuck. 2017.
Okay.
Like I'm just trying
Oh,
to
I
think.
see it. Yeah, Brigsby Bear. Yeah, what is that? I've never heard of this.
What?
It's a comedy drama. Hey,
Yeah,
probably something to watch, right?
yeah. That could be a bad movie
Just
night.
something to put on the right, something to put on the list.
It's the old man fucking sun face. I'm just.
Right, that's what I'm looking at. Like, what is that?
Is this like the genre says like drama comedy? Like the poster says existential cosmic horror.
Mhm.
I'll look at that later. Oh, but no, it's well Y2K it fits this. I've kind of seen what comedy does. I'm excited for Y2K. I'm kind of torn if I'm going to see it in the theaters, and that's more because I do have the movie passes, but I'm trying to keep up with all the new shit coming out. So I have to, even with
Mhm.
that, I have to pick and choose everything I
Mhm.
watch. Like I want to go see Transformers One, but I'd want to see Beetlejuice it more. So I'm probably gonna use this
Right.
movie pass on it.
I mean, plus you have a lot of those characters reprising the roles. I mean, Michael Keaton coming back, Winona
Exactly.
Ryder. Like, I enjoy that. Like, you know, and let me say this, right? Beetlejuice, Michael Keaton looks more Beetlejuicy now that he's older, and he kind of like looking at him like, huh, this seems to fit more because
Yeah.
you know he's older and you can see it, but yet it just the way they're doing the makeup and all that, like, oh man, I think I'm really gonna like this, but I'm really interested to see how they're gonna write it because a few months back I ended up rewatching Beetlejuice and I'm like, huh, this definitely will not pass for today's humor.
Oh
Although
no.
hilarious, this is very offensive. And so like,
like
I
it,
wonder what they're gonna do about that
like
for this movie. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna make some jokes on that.
oh yeah, like I do love the original Beetlejuice. It's absurd, it's fun, and I hope to see the new Beetlejuice if I could find time this week before.
Hmm.
So I'll probably talk about it next time. But yeah, but
Absolutely.
that like I said, we're excited for Y2K. But that would bring us to this new and recent films. Not necessarily films in theaters, but of course new movies we've seen them. But I don't know, just we always talk about like anything we've been watching recently. For example, like I re-binged um, Venture Brothers when it came out on Netflix,
Really,
and
it's been a while since I've seen that.
they only have the first three seasons. However, if you've already seen Venture Brothers once and you kind of know some of the twists and some of the things that happen later,
Hmm.
rewatch it because season one they plant a lot of seeds, and you have to wonder like how much of this was planned. Like the humor still gets me. Like I still laugh at it, but I upon rewatching it, it gave me a bit more respect for the
Hmm.
because like it is a very smart comedy. It's like I love the story is tight.
And again, like kind of just going on that, yeah, the continuity is pretty insane in it because they will plan some stuff that'll come up like 3 seasons later. You know, um, it's been quite a few years since I've seen Adventure Bro, or as I said Venture, but Venture Bros.
Yeah,
I've only seen the, at least I remember, was there a total of like 6 seasons, or how many seasons are out
five or
in
six.
total?
It's five or six,
6.
but they recently released a movie. Yeah,
Hmm.
Radiant is the blood of the baboon's heart, which is like the finale of everything. And I wish more shows did that, where they just end it with a movie and actually give it an ending. Like, and Nettie has it, Venture Brothers has it. Like, so I wish more shows did that.
Hmm.
But like, they plan on releasing more from what I understand on Netflix. I know there's just like a weird rights. I don't fucking know the muddy details. Because last I checked, only the first three seasons are on Netflix, but they're good seasons. Like season three is fucking great.
See, and that's what I'm wondering. What was the season where it was? It turned out, you know, when you got the spoiler, like, well, actually, you know what? I don't want to be spoiling stuff here in the show, but I will say this: I watched the show clear up until when it was ending on like a long, either a very long hiatus, kind of like how Futurama was, or it was like a big cliffhanger. But I remember they had came out with another season. What was that, like a few years ago? They came out with
Yeah,
like a new season. They're actively trying to bring it back because,
yeah. I
well, let me go
think
take a
it
look.
might have been season three.
All I know is that I watched up to that point. So if it is season 3, then, well,
Then
geez, I just got a lot of Venture Bros to catch up on because that was the thing. I remember just watching them like, man, it sucks that like there's nothing else here because there's so much more that we could be having here. You know, the way they had you know, the story arcs going on.
like and
Let me see.
there is a lot, and it is still funny. Like one of the funnier parts in the early first Venture Brothers seasons is still uh episode. It's listed as episode two on Netflix. It's the actual episode one
Hmm.
because like episode one on Netflix is just the pilot. It just kind of doesn't really connect to anything else. But it's the one where they go to Mexico and the the monarch's henchmen. they managed to actually bumble their way to succeeding their mission, hit Brock Sampson with a car, and when we see him again, in their lair, Brock Sampson has this fucking crazy eye. He's like, "I'll take the guards. Are you sure? There's a lot of them." And you see him go, "They hit me with a truck." Okay.
Because Brock Sampson, like the first 3 seasons, was just this really unhinged, super intense dude where like he just snaps people in half by looking at them. And
Oh,
so they're like,
oh
And I
yeah.
like how they gave him his whole therapy arc. It's like, I'm trying to get better.
There's a whole
That's pretty much what it was.
dude. There's a whole episode. It's a bit spoilery, but there's one episode later on, like before his arc kind of starts, where the entire episode is him just trying to confront something, and it's just him smoking weed with the mage that lives next door. All right, because
You needed that calm down, that chill out.
hell yeah, it's a.
So I'm sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
you're good. I was gonna say, yeah, it's a fun show. But then I was gonna ask, like, have you been seen anything new recently?
Okay, so new to me, in just in terms of shows here, and I guess before we completely close out with Venture Bros, just because we were on the subject of it, I just went ahead and looked it up. So apparently there are a total of 7 seasons for Venture
Seven?
Bros. It went from 2004. Apparently the pilot was in February. It first aired February 16th, 2003, but it went from 2004 clip until 2018. So there's 7 seasons apparently, and there's like 4 specials and a film, which was the film that you said, which actually ended it all. So yeah, like if you only have like the first 3, there's like 4 more seasons. In that which case, I was like, I thought there was. I remember when I was watching it, I think it was up to season 5, um, that I watched. So I can't really remember what happens after that because it was getting very like
Yeah.
drama intense. Still funny though, hilarious.
Oh yeah. Still funny. They just kind of switched gears a little bit between like what they exactly parody. Because seasons 1 through 3, they parody everything from like fucking Johnny Quest to GI Joe. Everything's kind of
Right.
touched on
Love
there.
those.
And like the later seasons when they go to the big city, like they do actually start openly mocking more like Marvel, DC, and stuff like that. Fucking spy movies. Like it's a good parody, but yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, what other thing?
So
Yeah.
so I guess for stuff, I guess now when it comes to animations, you can't really, I guess the hero stuff you can't really die out of because we grew up watching, like hero stories and whatnot. So
Of course.
for me, Batman the Cape Crusader, I
Ooh.
finally got a chance to sit there and watch that because 1930s aesthetic Batman, perfect. Because if I'm not mistaken, what was that's when Batman started, right? Didn't Batman or the detective, didn't that start 1920s or 30s?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. But I love how they do have like that 90s Batman feel with the Warner Brothers animation via the 1930s setting. It's really great. I'm excited for that next season coming out because of the way they ended it with that with the little teaser they had at the end. Overall very well animated. I love the voice acting. It's again, it's I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Uh, I'm actually bringing up. It was a Batman. Here we go. Well, here we'll just say this: even though Kevin Conroy didn't play as Batman, because sadly we don't have him here anymore.
Mhm.
Uh, the new voice actor, I guess that's what I was looking for. The new voice actor's name for Bruce Wayne here. He did a really good job playing that.
That's good. And I'm glad to hear it is good. 'Cause it's on Max, right?
Yes, it's on Mac. Or no, I believe I watched it on Amazon Prime. It was on Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
A few things on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna have to watch eventually. I do want to catch that. I'm glad to hear that it is good. The animation does look fun.
I like their renditions of the new, you know, a lot of the new already existing villains and how they reintroduce them, because it does feel like a new you know, kind of like how they usually do. It's an origin, how it starts, and then eventually starts building into its own thing. Yeah. So yeah, definitely for that. Again, highly recommend watching that, especially if you like Batman. And then I guess after that, unless if you still want to talk on that Batman.
Oh no, hey, please go
Uh,
go. Like, you have something else you want to talk about? Yeah.
um just finished, or at least not finished. I'm actually on the last episode of the second season of My Adventures with Superman as well. Again, anime Superman, didn't really know what to expect at first, but where I like what it was building up to be. Mostly because you know I like researching. This is my little fun fact about me. I like researching personality types of like superheroes and all that. You know, just looking at that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, just really seeing how they wrote Superman. And you know, if I'm not mistaken, if anybody did know this, I guess I needed to do a little more research on that. Um, did an anime company actually animate that? Have you seen My Adventures of Superman?
Uh I've seen clips of it, and
Mhm.
I'm impressed with some clips of it. There's design choices and like how to design certain characters, and I'm
Right,
like Brainiac being the big one. I'm just like,
right, yeah. So they had a lot of, again, it's like one of those, and I think why they're doing that is because you know multiverse things just seem to be a thing with a lot of series and stuff right now.
oh yeah.
And so it's pretty obvious that you know in this episode, because they, funny enough, in it they do reference Earth 52 specifically in that show. And so it just goes to show that there are multiple ones in here, and I guess in this universe, yeah, these people do look the way they do because of that reason. So who knows? It's
Gotcha.
I'm excited to see what comes out of that. If it does, I know a lot of people are big fans of Superman, but I there's just like personality relatable things to it that I really enjoy about the character. You know, we have people like genuinely trying to help, and then there's the whole thing of like, man, you know, people see one thing and judge you off of that, and you generally try to, you know, generally trying to help people, but then you just, you know, it just really goes to show that we all kind of, you know, just sit here dealing with our own stuff, and we're really quick to just be judging the others off of, you know, very superficial stuff when we're just trying to be, you know, helpful. I just feel like a lot of that gets reflected in Superman, but I know there's a lot of arguments that like, oh, you know, where he defends, you know, like police or whatever you want to do, is like I think a lot of that gets lost in the fact that, you know, like, no, it's just like somebody's really hurting bad, I'm just trying to help, and then I get called a
Yeah.
villain for it because, well, what if you decide to have a bad day? Anybody can decide to have a bad day and decide to do some really heinous shit, you know. Like I don't think that's like the case for it. It's just you know,
Like the
we
everyone will say like, "Oh, the world is messed up. The world's complicated. We have to be this way." And Superman's like, "You don't."
right, yeah,
Yes,
it's
and Superman's the
and
guy who
and
goes, "You don't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Let's just
right,
be
it didn't
good."
have to be that complicated. But and the thing is, here's what it is with the story, right? The irony is like, you ever hear of like the crab bucket effect, where like instead of everybody working together to get out of situations, to get, you know, get past something, we're just so busy pulling each other that we all end up damning each other. We can't go anywhere. And
Yeah,
the irony is everybody's sitting there saying Superman's evil because he could be evil and destroy the world, and then creating all of these tools and weapons for Superman while also destroying the world. So I'm like, at what point are y'all, you know, contradicting yourselves? I don't know, but yeah, it's
yeah.
again, it's just little lessons and stuff on that, and they do a really good job of doing the whole like, I guess because it's like anime style. Have they have that continuity and you know the complications of relationships and all that, you know, just little stuff like that.
Like, give that one a watch. The I know I've been big on Net, especially Net. Have you watched Kengan Ashura?
Yes, I have.
It concluded on Netflix. Like, they got all
Did
the
it?
fights, and oh my god, the final fights are sick.
So I've only saw the first season because at the time when it came out, it was that or Baki, right?
Mhm.
And at the time, I really liked Baki more. So Kengan Ashura, I was just waiting for more of it to come out, and I never finished it. So I do want to go ahead and revisit, especially now that you're saying that it's actually finished. So now I have a reason to go back to it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
like it's
but yeah,
done. Like the tournament's over. The season, like if they like weirdly enough, it actually got me into read the manga. Like and apparently it got a sequel manga, which
mhm.
that I'm just slowly reading, and I love the old dude in the sequel because throughout the whole events of Kengan Ashura, that skinny old dude was just freaked out by everything. But by the but by Kengan Omega is what they call the sequel. He's basically lived through the tournament. He's dealt with so many people. He got through everything, and he's now had business dealings with some very intense people. He he'll still has a little bit of demeanor to him, but in general, it takes a lot to shake him up. Like there's this one really intimidating new character just trying to be a punk little bitch, and he just goes up to him. He is not budging. He's just staring at him like, "The fuck you gonna do? You gonna kill me? Then do it." I'm like 50 pounds, dude. Try me.
Listen, I have the power of anime and God on my side, and if you haven't watched enough anime, like this level of confidence mean I'm just gonna twist you in half in like 2 seconds because again I guess not to keep on like derailing from it, going to Baki, but I was gonna ask if you've seen the Hanmi Baka versus Kengan Ashura
I have,
special.
I have seen it, and
I have not seen it myself, but I've been meaning to see if anybody else has watched it because it looks really interesting and I
it,
wanted to know, what that was like.
it seems to capture it does what a lot of like Japanese crossovers do. There's a lot of
Hmm.
gags between all these characters and how they relate to each other. Like
Hmm.
what's the dude in Baki? It's the it's the it's that black dude that basically prides himself on his muscles. That like bodybuilder.
Biscuit Olivia is his
Biscuit
original
Olivia.
Japanese,
Yeah.
yeah, but I believe they English translated here to Biscuit Oliver.
Like he's basically having a dick measuring contest with another character from Kengan Ashura about like whose muscles are technically bigger and who has the best like fucking workout regimen for to make their muscles bigger.
And see, that's what I was kind of hoping they would have. Why? Because within the shows themselves, their own respective, series, there's a lot of that happening. So it's literally that's why I wanted to know. Is like this has to be really cool because it's like WWE or F meets WCW, and you got like The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. Everybody's just going nuts. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be pretty cool
Yeah.
because it really is just like these guys are already like extremely narcissistic just based off of muscle power. So I'm like, how are you gonna have a big old pissing match before between these people,
The one thing, and I don't want to spoil if you've read Kengan Ashura, you know, but when
Hmm.
I watched the crossover before I finished Kengan Ashura, reading or watching, and they do the thing where they basically get like the strongest character in each to have a little stare down, not a fight, but basically a stare down to be like to have their little encounter. You know who it's gonna be with Baki. It's fucking Hanma. Like
Right.
like with the character they choose for Kengan Ashura, at first I was like, is he the strongest though? Then I watched the end of Kengan Ashura, like, foot in my mouth. Okay, that guy's the fucking boss and a half.
Right.
Like, oh my god, like the guy who's actually like the strongest in the Kengan Ashura universe, he's like, no, you don't want to fuck with him. He's like,
I imagine, and and that's where things get a little muddy too. Whenever you're doing crossovers, because like animes within their own universes, sometimes it's just be like it really is a thing. It's like, hey, let's have Goku versus like fucking Naruto. It's like, how do you really do that on certain levels? I guess you could really do that with Baki and King and Ashura closely
right.
because it is like straight martial arts.
Dude, there's a
But it's
canon crossover with like sorry to derail you. There
oh,
is a
no, no,
canon
you're good.
there's a canon crossover with Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Toriko.
Right. And at what point can one of those characters not just blow everything up and just end it? You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Well, like, as cool as it sounds, realistically, it just takes a nice. I mean, you have characters from DBZ like Frieza, who's like with a flick of his finger, he destroyed almost an entire race and blew up planets. Like this guy he's like a living, Death Star, right? And then you have Naruto, not to dump on Naruto, but it's like you have, it just seems like there's a lot of stuff like that's very worldly, like within their realm, right? And
Yes.
it really just depends, because like technically, you want to sit there and like, well, who's like the strongest? You know, I just watched fucking Gojo. What's he's from?
Oh,
Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
yeah, that's next on
Right,
my fucking read list, by the
right,
way.
right.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess because getting into another animes like that, because that it was one that was, I guess that's one of the most recent things that I've watched. But yeah, trying to compare all that, it's like, man, or like even as something simple as like JoJo stands, it may not seem like it's OP until you really think about stuff like, like when you have like Giorno's stand where it's like, oh yeah, no, I just put you to a place where you're just infinitely dying. Like what?
Dude,
How does that? I can reset the universe, by the way. So if you really wanted to try some stuff, I got White Snake or what's it called? His heaven stand.
oh, fuck. Was it Heaven's Door? No.
I think so. I believe it is because it's I know it's based off of the song. Right. So let's see, you got really insane stuff like that. So it's like, how do you really, try to, well, that's what you got the manga jump games for, I guess,
Yeah,
but
JoJo's not
that's
really a
very
fair one
limited.
to bring up,
Right,
though,
yeah.
'cause,
Right.
like,
That's six again, that's what I'm saying. So how do you really, you kind of have to keep them within their own realms, but yeah,
JoJo has a
Kengan
habit of
Ashura.
taking the most like absurd powers and just like oh this what's this guy's power? My stand can like fix things and stick things to one another. Like oh how could that be broken? I could stop a bullet by sticking it to my fucking skull. All right.
Right. Cool. Right. It's like the most convoluted like ways to trick it. Like I kid you not. There's a stand from like part 8 or whatever where like I'm not gonna give no information other than just this is just what the ability. But dude, the whenever something is opened, it could be something as small as like a kin pap or a pen cap. But when something small opens, a giant death blizzard comes out. So you can open a door and I can activate it, stand, bam. You open a window, activate, stand, bam. Death blizzard coming in and freezing and crap, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is Iraqi smoking where he comes up with that? Because I couldn't. At least I don't think I could. I could sit there all day, but that's what I love about stuff like that, because especially like with JoJo, really just be like, the sky is the limit on how powerful something can be. But when we're really sitting there trying to ask those questions of who's really stronger, I think that it might be a little bit moot depending on the series.
This is my stand kettle pop.
This
Every
is my
time I speak into a microphone, corn explodes. Some weird shit
feeds
like
the
that.
hungry, but it's also deadly.
Just a whole. I'm pretty sure at this point he just has like a little spinny wheel or whatever. Just like, what is his fucking stand?
All right, Wheel of Stands, what we got today? It's like a whole system.
Just challenges himself to make it fucking overpowered.
Mhm.
Oh, uh,
But yeah, but yeah, I know with you, King and Ashura, I've been meaning to finish that because, funny enough, I never got a chance to finish the last season of Baki. So that's just some stuff I need to get caught up on that. Um, and then yeah, in terms like the last anime I actually watched, which was Jujutsu Kaisen, it was like the first or second season though. I don't know where to, or at least I'm waiting for like I guess when the next season is dropping. I don't know how long that's gonna take
yeah.
though.
One that I'm definitely waiting for to continue Record of Ragnarok because that was a. I wish that it was paced a little bit better, but the fights are still Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
I,
I
I don't
I
want
was I was
to.
gonna ask. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, guys, ask your question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask because I've been hearing that a lot lately. But what is it about?
Basically, in Record of Ragnarok, all of the gods like Greek, Egyptian, Norse, etc., they're like No, let's exterminate humanity. Let's just
Wait a minute. Is this where it's like all these mythological gods are fighting in the Colosseum, and then the last season of them was like basically Adam fighting against Zeus or something like that?
yes, like they get
And he was like
represented.
naked. I remember that. Yes, as a matter of fact, I did see that first season. I remember thinking, man, this is bizarre, but I like it because you have like Christian theology, mythology mixing with like Greek mythology, and it's like you have Adam. It's just like this really skinny, boy with like blonde hair. He has a little leaf over there, and he's like super strong, unarmed, and he's fighting this old man Zeus. I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, even the manga goes farther. Like there's matchups in the manga that it does the anime thing. It straight up does the anime
It
thing.
does. It
Where
does. I'm so glad you reminded me of it.
like what like the next season, the matchup that they're going to touch on would be Nikola Tesla versus Beelzebub. And apparently, in this fucking universe, Nikola Tesla is a Tesla coil powered Iron
No
Man.
way.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Fucking Nikola Tesla with a giant robot. I am so fucking ready for more
Awesome.
episodes.
Tesla
Done.
anime.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. I love that.
Like when it does get serious, though, I do like the all the twists it does throw. It's like, oh, like Buddha doesn't fight for the gods, he fights for humanity because Buddha is literally a human that achieved enlightenment and he has legitimate love for humans and wants them to grow. Like, okay, there's a lot of like little peppered in bits of just smart theology and smart symbolism, and I but it's mostly the anime fights.
Yeah, and that's why I was in it. Because I'm like, when I first saw the first episode of the first season, right? That first, just everything. I'm like, I know what this anime is, and it is like, yeah, no, we definitely have story here. We know there's gonna be plot holes. There's gonna be a bunch of really crazy stuff, but we know you're here for the anime, the fight scenes. And when I was watching that stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely just for the fights here because some of this stuff is just so outlandish.
Oh, the other fight that's probably I think it's right after the Nikola Tesla one. It's it was King Leonidas versus Apollo, and they made King Leonidas into
Wow.
one of the most arrogant cunts. Just like when they get around to fight, it's like, no, he's so arrogant. It's like, all right, King Leonidas, I need you to fight. It's like, no, I'm only fighting first or last. I'm a headliner. I ain't no fucking. All right, I guess you're not gonna fight Apollo. It's like, did you fucking say Apollo? I'm gonna punch that sun prick right in his jaw. I'm like, all right. He's just this old anime dude with a fucking stogie and a sharp beard.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah, see, I have to watch it now. I have to get back into it.
like read it first so you get to see Leonidas, but like watch it to the end. It's like it, it's so good and it makes you root for characters that you otherwise wouldn't root for in history. But
I love it.
uh I guess we don't go down this rabbit hole too far to get to the main event of the night, main topic. Last time we voted on that despite all his rage, well, we spun the wheel, but despite all his rage, still just Nicolas Cage. And we usually just end up going down a rabbit hole, but ultimately just kind of, for the topic in mind, just have a movie or two in mind and just kind of shoot the shit about it. So you're but as soon as we saw Nicolas Cage, the only movie I could really think of is, well, no, there's no movie to think of. The first one that I feel like I have to talk about it is that
Mhm.
the the unbearable weight of what fucking oh god
The
what is
unbearable weight of talent.
yeah
Yeah.
it is the most Nicolas Cage movie
It's
ever.
literally him talking to himself the entire movie.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. I'm like, huh, yeah, I bet he was a complete dickhead in 90
Yeah.
whenever he got his stardom. Because this man, once upon a time, was playing everything.
Hell yeah. Like
Yeah, that's
God,
literally what the movie was. It's like, huh, we just watched an entire movie of Nicolas Cage monologuing with one of his personas.
what's that movie where he is like in a fucking plane and he had like the long ass hair? What movie was that?
Um, that
I'm gonna look
I'm gonna
this
have to
shit
look it
up.
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's got so many movies.
Nicolas Cage movie. See. Uh,
Con Air. That
Con Air. Yeah, that's it.
Griffin says Con Air. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you,
fucking
Griffin.
think you're a scholar and a gentleman. There's I am more used to Nicolas Cage and just his more bombastic, just what everyone knows him for, just being that crazy kind of guy. I do want to see the more subdued roles he's done. Um, I have never seen Lord of War, and I want to see it so bad.
I mean, if we're gonna go on a Nick Cage movie deep dive on that someday, then because I've never seen that one either, and I think that'd be a good one to watch one day.
Every time I see clips, I just it reminds me like take like the opening of Iron Man where you just have this guy just selling arms, but just apply that throughout the whole movie and
Mm-hmm.
just have him just not really. And I don't know the ending of that movie, and that's kind of why I want to see it. No one tells me like, does he learn a lesson? Does he get like something come up to him? I legitimately do not know, and I want to keep it that way. Like, because I love going into a movie with a surprise. I like speculating about movies. I think like theorist communities and people who speculate there is a
Mm-hmm.
place for them as long as they don't take it too far. And there's certain things that could happen, but I don't know what's going to happen in Lord of War. I just know that he sells guns, and apparently he is just in this high position of power, and he pisses off a lot of people. That's it, but it looks so interesting. Fucking Face Off. That's a movie that it's such a product of its time,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean that in the best way possible. But like, do we even have two actors any like that are alive right now that could do something like Face Off, where they just act like each other? And
So, I mean, well, actually, yeah, you've seen that in I don't know if you ever seen that one movie. Actually, I was thinking of they act as each other. Hold on. Well, now I'm drawing a blank because I had a movie in mind for that. Funny enough, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but I'm thinking of that. I was thinking about that Wayne's Brothers movie, White Chick.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking about that. When they're acting. No, let me go look it up here while we're continuing the conversation.
you,
There was another movie, but
you,
I'm drawing a hard blank on it. My apologies.
you know what? But looking at like actors nowadays, you know what duo I would before we go back to Nicolas Cage, you know what duo I'd love to see
Hmm.
just together in a movie because I know it would be a shit show and I'm here for it.
Hmm.
Jared Leto and Joaquin Phoenix.
Interesting. And how would that play out? Because Jared Leto is can be very I don't know. I mean, we'll say this, right? Let me go back to this one, right? Joaquin Phoenix is famously introverted and awkward. And just like with his interviews, he doesn't really give much energy. So how
Yeah.
would that go? What would Jared Leto even have to go off of with Joaquin Phoenix?
It's,
I wonder how that would play out.
it would just be the straight man to Jared Leto's subdued bullshit, and there'd just be a whole bunch of a nothing burger of a movie. And I kind of want to. This is either going to be just an absurd surrealist comedy where they hate each other, or this is going to be like the best damn movie ever. And I mean, but
We'll make it a retail movie too.
make it
It's them working,
a
make it them
retail.
working retail, and it's just like it's that guy you got to go to work you fucking hate. You're just there for 8 hours a day. Just snap one day.
Their manager is Malcolm McDowell. Fuck it, it's against all the weird people in here. Uh,
Right. We'll just make the most awkward retail movie ever.
Okay, okay. I derailed a bit, but yeah, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. I'm looking up a list of all of his
So
movies.
so I have two, and the only reason why is because these is like some of his movies, because they have like those whenever you have those Nick Cage movies, like if you really think about it, Nick Cage movies are all connected. you know. Um so for example, Vampires Kiss and Renfield, right? Have you ever seen
Oh,
Vampires Kiss?
I haven't seen Vampire's Kiss, but I have seen Renfield. Oh no, no, I have seen Vampire's Kiss. That's the movie where like, I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire.
He right, he okay, so the story of what that one is like, he's like this playboy, but he's really lonely and he doesn't have any real connection. He ends up going under this whole delusion. Basically, the TLDR is that he thinks he's turned into a vampire. He's really not. And it's just like a whole. The movie's about like a psychological break in like his loneliness and all that, and because he believes that it was this lady who bit him turn into a vampire. Some stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's really what the movie was about. And I'm like, man, when Renfield came out, I was like, wouldn't this be super fucked up if like this was just some really drawn out shit where like years later, because he's older now. He was a lot younger in Vampires. Because what if he was that dude who just never got the attention he needed?
Renfield is a
And
secret
he's
sequel.
been well, I'm just saying he's been living his whole life thinking he's Dracula or whatever. Some shit he ends up eventually getting to some other dude. And it's like basically it's like the most fucked up mind of RPing that just gone wrong.
Oh my god.
Because now he's got he's managed to convince this dude that Renfield that like that he's like this vampire lord and that he's a servant. And I'm like, Jesus, man, the duality of man and how deep RPing can go if that shit doesn't go unchecked. We got a whole nother movie where you know he's back and he really thinks he's a vampire. And the thing that really gets to me is like just seeing how like Renfield, if you ever watch Renfield, like the movie itself doesn't take itself seriously, because it is very the way they do like the gory and like the CGI, like the violent scenes and all that. It's really great. It's just a fun watch. But the way it's so like overly, like crazy with how they do the CGI, it really is like feels like it could be the ramblings of somebody who's schizophrenic who really believes he's a vampire, and he ends up becoming friends with this other guy who, thinks that this guy is this vampire lord, and they're just sitting there just talking a bunch of crazy shit.
Oh yeah, I was looking at this movies and I just learned something that I realized this was not in the advertising for this movie. Nicolas Cage was in Longlegs.
He was, yes, he
Did
was,
I didn't know that.
yes.
I already wanted to see the
As a
movie.
matter of fact, I believe he is the villain.
He is, yeah. That's it's credited as
Yeah,
Longlegs. Like, what the fuck? I already
and that's
kind of
crazy.
wanted to
I
see it.
never got to watch it. It's just one of those like fun facts I did know. He is the monster in it, and I've been wanting to watch it. It was one of those things I just never got around to doing it.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like, I'm like actively looking up his filmography while like looking up. I have to remember like he was in the oh right yeah he was in that one scene in the Flash. Uh, the Croods.
Yeah.
I his voice acting is fine because Nicolas Cage is a good actor. Like he's a weird
Mhm.
dude. He is a good actor. He is. Don't
You
even.
know, yeah, absolutely. Like given in the right roles, like Nick Cage, he could definitely thrive in some stuff. But he just, I think he thrives the most in those really awkward, like those on the nose. Again, stuff like the weight of talent, or
Yeah.
the overwhelming. I forget how the exact
Yeah. It's
title of it
the
goes, but
unbearable weight of massive talent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, that he thrives in those now because he then became he's become his own meme, like his own brand, to the point where like he could literally meme playing himself as an entire movie.
Yeah.
Like he's literally become like his own fucking anime JoJo stand. Like I could do whatever I want. I can
That's
literally be Nick Cage in anything I want.
that's what that movie was really about. It's a stand user discovering his stand.
This right, he's talking to again. Like I said, it all goes together. When vampires kiss in Redfield, turns out all this time it was just Nick Cage. It's all connected.
Oh God, there's so many. I, I don't notice lately though. Aside from, of course, Renfield and Massive Talent, the movies
Mhm.
he's chosen to do, even if the movie was a bit weird, he chose the serious role. Like fucking Wally's
Right.
Wonderland or whatever. He didn't talk throughout the whole damn movie, and he was like stoic as fuck. Willy's Wonder World. That's what it is. Like no,
Let's see. I don't think I actually got to see Willie's
or
Wonderworld.
Willy's Wonderland. Yeah.
Willy's Wonderland.
It's
Let me
the
take a.
not Five Nights at Freddy's movie versus Nicolas Cage beating up animatronics for an hour and a half.
How did I not see this one?
It's crazy as fuck. And Nicolas Cage never talks.
Well, and funny enough, looking at his face in every scene that I'm seeing a screenshot it makes sense because he has this very specific look. So I assume because every shot I'm seeing, he has this look.
Yeah,
So
yes, he's. I think he has the Nick Cage look.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Nick Cage, he could do whatever he wants in the movie. It's okay. He's Nick Cage. It just works.
we need Nick Cage to be a superhero. Bam, Ghost Rider. We need Nick Cage to be a fucking serial killer. Long legs. We need Nick Cage to be fucking
Hey,
Superman, the Flash.
we need Nick Cage to be a superhero dad. Kick ass.
Hell yeah.
Right. So actually, I'm looking up
Actually,
more of his
Nicolas
movies.
Cage has been a lot of like superheroes. I'm looking at this. He's been Spider-Man. He's been Superman.
Right. Against Spider-Verse, like, he's been everything. So at this
Fucking
point, yeah,
Ghost Rider.
like what hasn't he done? Or what do you think he can't do at that point?
Nicolas Cage is he is the missing link between Marvel and DC.
He's the between verse.
Dude, okay, do a little bit, but still keeping with Nicolas Cage. If Avengers Doomsday comes out, and me and Katie were talking about it when we did our tier list, that the only real thing they could do to up themselves with Avengers Endgame is if in Avengers Secret War they basically do that on a multiversal scale.
Mm-hmm.
And if I watch Avengers Secret War or Doomsday and I see fucking Nicolas Cage on a fucking motorcycle, I'm gonna lose my shit.
You know,
You know how bad I want Nicolas Cage to interact with fucking Tony Stark?
again, and it's like, would it be, in that case, do you know where I would honestly see that as like a Nick Cage. It would have to be a Nick Cage Marvel movie where he is whatever character, and then he just happens to come along Tony Stark.
Yeah.
It would definitely, I would just see that happening. Or, it could be the other way around because, again, Nick Cage, again, he's multiversal himself. So he'll just either cameo in it or the movie will be about him. Either or.
It'll probably be a
It would be really
cameo.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything, they'd probably do the cameo like they did the cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine. They might get a line or two, but just a cameo. And then
Now,
maybe
who would he be playing then if he's having that interaction with Tony Stark?
Oh, Ghost Rider.
Like
Just
new armor?
100% Johnny
Oh, yeah,
Blaze.
yeah, yeah. Hey, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Like, or have him play two characters. Have him play Ghost Rider, but also do an animated cameo as like fucking Peter Parker with his daughter. Or no, Spider
Yeah,
Noir. That's who he does. Spider Noir.
right.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
that's
that works.
Oh fuck. Actually, he might have a cameo in that new animated Spider-Man series. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
He's,
I think so. You know what's funny? I never got a chance to see the second Spider Verse yet. I'm still just I know it was being streamed the other day, but I didn't get a chance to catch that.
it is
So I'm
very
just
good.
waiting.
It's,
I just been waiting. I'm just gonna just go ahead and watch it while I'm here because I still really enjoy it.
oh,
You know,
yeah. Go watch it. Like, if I
uh,
were to look through all of his anthology movies, I'm looking at the ones that like these are ones like not just because Nick Cage is a weird dude, but ones that I enjoy everything about like either his performance, everything around it. These are just like I will happily rewatch this. One is the National Treasure movies.
let's see. Let's say we need because the Indiana Jones, Nick Cage, National Treasure. I thought he was part of National Treasure.
But yeah, he's the star.
Yes.
Like
Right, yeah,
and like
yeah,
he's not for the most part outside of like one scene later on. He's not
yeah.
really acting like his weird self, but like I think that's like a good like Nick Cage movie. Like it's such a good movie for him. Uh, the end.
National
I
Treasure.
straight up didn't know
Wait,
he
so
was.
then who was that played in Journey to the Center of the Earth? Why am I see? This is where sometimes I just get like
Oh,
here.
oh, that's Will Ferrell.
Okay, yeah. Why? Really?
No,
Journey to the Center of
no,
the
no,
Earth?
no. That's Land of the Lost. That's Land of the Lost.
Yeah, see, now it
Oh
started to blend.
fuck,
Damn it, Nick
yeah.
Cage and everything, and I've seen you in everything.
Everyone is Nick
It's,
Cage.
it's fucking with my head. I don't know what to think anymore.
You're gonna go to
Nick
sleep.
Cage and Smiling Friends, dude. That they need to have a whole dedicated. They should do that. A Nick Cage
Dude,
episode of Smiling
he
Friends.
fucking would.
Nick Cage can't smile, guys. We got to get him to smile.
The secret is to watch Paddington
Brendan
2.
Fraser.
Brendan
Yeah,
Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Very, very different actor, but
There we go.
still worth.
Very, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, hey, Nick Cage and the Mummy. They come out with a new Mummy movie. There you
dude,
go. Nick Cage is the Mummy.
Cage is the mummy. Oh, Nick Cage. Yeah, my dreams tonight are basically gonna go to bed. There's gonna be darkness, and then just Nick Cage peering through. It's like, you want to watch Face Off? See my fucking dreams tonight. Um,
How creepy that is. Hey, I think I'm a vampire. Like, dude, Nick
oh.
Cage, fuck off, bro. Try to go to sleep.
Have you seen A Color of Space yet?
You're not. You ever seen The Matrix? You're not even in that one. Yeah, but would it be cool?
Wouldn't it be cool? Hey, you should tell the studios to give me a full length Superman movie. I was Superman in the Flash. He really can play anything, though. I'm staring at this filmography, and I just see, on one hand you see stuff like Lord of War. You have all this drama like the weather. I don't know what the Weatherman is. Actually, what the fuck is that? I don't. But you see all these like movies that are clearly like drama or like 80s 90s like kind of soft romance hard drama kind of movies. Then you have all these just absurd things like Con Air and Face Off, fucking Gone in 60 Seconds, and then just suddenly randomly sprinkle in kids movies voice acting roles. He did Christmas Carol, Aunt Billie G. He's really done a little bit of everything. He really fucking has. This is gonna kill me. I didn't realize he was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I need to know, who was he? Did he just cameo?
I'm looking through his discography. Yeah, I can't talk.
He's not in the top cast, so I assume it was probably just a side role or a cameo. All casted.
Here we go. The filmography.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
he was just Brad's bud, so he's basically just a cameo friend. Okay, I'll have to rewatch that again, also because I don't know where to say it. I recommend watching The Rock for Nick Cage. That's Sean Connery.
He was in Astro Boy.
Oh yeah, he was the professor, wasn't he?
Dr. Bill Tenma. Yeah, Astro Boy's father.
Yeah,
Creator. Nick Cage, you're in Astro Boy. Of course. Again, we just said that he's in everything.
yeah. He's in fucking Teen Titans Go. That might make it watchable. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, say what you want about Teen Titans Go. It has some really funny as fuck jokes. If you really listen to some of the shit that they're talking about and that they say, and I'm like, first of all, this is a kids show, so how are we joking about that? But hilarious,
You're right. I do think that people
I think
are
a
too
lot of
hard
people
on
are. Well, because I think they don't like the fact that it went the funny route instead of it being the very dramatic, it was a teen drama. It was a teen drama with hilarity in it, but they went full on like comedy with it. And I'm like, it definitely, me personally, I enjoy watching it because, again, like those jokes, like they really do so like some really like off color jokes. Like if you don't know what they're talking about, you'd miss it. But you're like, I see what you do there. But personally, it's because I like that kind of humor,
it.
and I like the fact that they did keep the original voice actors, and they do kind of bring up that point all the time. It was like, we're gonna be rebooted, and it's like, wow, look how cool we used to look,
Yeah.
but why do we look like this now? It makes me appreciate the show a little bit more.
There's a lot of self awareness and a lot of like self digs on Teen Titans Go. I can't bring myself
Yeah.
to hate it because of it. And yeah, I mostly if I do jokes against it, it's low hanging fruit.
Right, yeah, and again, but it's funny though. It's funny. That's why, because it's like, like Teen Titans Go.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a joke on itself.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do a Nick Cage marathon throughout the week because I'm looking at all these movies. Like I have that one. I can watch that one. Like it's a oh yeah. Wait, what the fuck is Drive Angry?
Drive Angry. Well, let's look at that one.
It's just Nick Cage being angry in a car for an hour and a half. I'm here for it.
Funny enough, I remember the Blonde Cage era with this. Let's take a look, because I remember there was times where, oh wait, John Milton escapes from hell after stealing Satan's gun, the God Killer, in order to kill Jonah King, a
What the
Sanic cult leader who murdered Milton's daughter and her husband and plans to ritually sacrifice Milton's infant granddaughter to unleash hell on Earth.
what the fuck?
Yes, this
I
so it's like some kind of weird Dante's Inferno, except he's here to kill the devil.
I need to watch this.
Or not kill the devil, I'm sorry, but yeah, like huh. This guy goes to hell. Yeah, it is kind of like, I guess, his way of doing Dante's Inferno, going down to hell to get his girlfriend back. And
He's like
yeah,
capitalizing on his own movie. It's like Ghost Rider, but a car.
right.
What the
And it's
fuck?
the title is very on the nose. Drive Angry.
All right, add that to the
I
fucking
mean,
watch list. Holy shit!
right.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Look at the again. I keep looking through this, but I know that I generally gravitate towards the more fun, more absurd stuff, like National Treasure. I've seen Knowing. I know it gets a lot of flack. I liked Knowing, at least from what I remember. Sounds like a blast. Dude. I if reading the synopsis of Nicolas Cage movies is a fucking grab bag. You don't even know what you're gonna get with half of these. Some of them. So we were talking about. Um, oh fuck! It's the filmmaker who Roger Corman. We were talking about Roger Corman movies last time, and the rule with Roger Corman is whatever the title of the movie is, that's what it's about. Period. They're not complicated. Nicolas Cage is the opposite of that. It's just, what's the movie about? Oh, it's Drive Angry. Is he driving angry? He has a shotgun from the devil and he's going to shoot a satanic cult leader.
Right. Like,
All right.
so I wanna go back a couple more steps there. When did he end up in hell? And well, I guess that's why you gotta watch the movie though.
Yeah. Oh,
Here's one, Outcast, that I you may want to check out here too. 2014. It's an American Chinese Canadian action film, apparently, and it was also released in China. It's like a whole Chinese um movie board for it. Like it's wild, but apparently during the Crusades, young Commander Jacob leads an army, including Ghislaine, in the slaughter of an Arab city. Again, they're going all like biblical with it, but it looks like, if you look at like the movie poster of it, it looks like Chinese Highlander with Nick Cage on the front, because
yeah.
there's like a big old electric sword on the front, and I don't know, it's crazy.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm like looking at little images from the trailer. It's just like knights versus Mongols, basically.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and an American. These are all with hyphens between American, Chinese, Canadian action film. I've never heard of that in my life.
Dude, this is giving me the same vibes. Have you ever seen a Warrior's Way?
I have not.
So that movie, it's a very good movie, but it knows what it is and it does not shy away from the bullshit. Warrior's Way is What if we made samurai versus cowboys versus carnies in a movie?
We love it because why not? I don't know.
Yeah,
That sounds cool. That sounds cool as hell.
dude, Warrior's Way is so fucking wild. I have a copy of DVD. I think it's on streaming. I'll have to look it up. But you want to see who's the guy who played Barbosa in Pirates of the Caribbean? Jeffrey Rush. Jeffrey Rush
Mhm.
plays an alcoholic sniper, and he is like one of the best fucking characters in that movie.
Oh yeah, no, he would do great as an alcoholic sniper. Yes, I forgot.
But yeah, watch the
Hector
trailer for Outcast. It
Barbosa
gives you that same type of
by Jeffrey
vibes.
Rush.
Yeah, yeah. Outcast give you the same vibes. Like, all right, you're here to watch like knights fight Chinese warriors. A few little assassinations here and there. What the fuck was that shot of Nick Cage trying to look intimidating? He just looks like he's doing a hey face. What the fuck? I know I want to show it because I've been really trying to. I'm still figuring out how much I can show and stream instead of the slides on the podcast. But
So Teen Titans Go, the movie. See, now that part I did miss that. 'Cause I remember we were joking about it earlier, but actually, I don't know why I'm coming to the actual realization that he played Superman in that one,
no,
which
okay.
he does. He plays Superman in Teen Titans Go to the movies, that's a play on the actual thing because it's Teen Titans Go exclamation point, and then it's to the movies. That's hilarious. So yeah, apparently he plays Superman in that one.
God, he really Nicolas Cage. Like, okay, now I'm gonna do this. Is there a Nicolas Cage movie that I've seen and I don't like, or one that I absolutely don't want to see? Let's see it because
I'll say this: I do like dramas a lot, and looking at some of the ones like Joe, looking at some of the crime and drama ones, like I still appreciate Nick Cage, even when he's not just being like in his goofier roles or whatever, because he can play
absolutely.
some good. Yeah, he can definitely play some good dramatic roles. And I have had my eye on this one, Joe. I'm trying to remember if I've actually seen it or not because I didn't watch so many movies. There was once upon a time where all I did was just binge watching stuff on Netflix when I had it, and so I haven't been through so many movies. It's kind of hard for me to remember what all I've been through. I'd have to, watch them again. But
Yeah, I think that's what I need to watch more of. I need to like watch more movies like Lord of War, because like
mhm,
Knowing is like that, and I liked Knowing. It's a bit sci-fi, but he is more serious in that one. I think I just do need to watch more of these dramas, like Joe, Lord of War. Trying to think, look through his old movies of what I would count in that, but Poor Things. Yeah, I have one question: How to get burned? I don't know, but like more movies like that. I don't know what Red Rock West is, but like seeing Nicolas Cage in a jean jacket, like he's looking pretty sexy. No, but
yeah, Gene Jack and Nick Cage.
yeah. I, if you're so, you know what, that's actually a good takeaway from this. If you're so used to like the Nick Cage from like the meme, which is like a bearable weight of massive talent, or him screaming around and fucking Ghost Rider, just all the Nick Cage, whoa. Like take a second, because I can only think of Knowing offhand, but I know I've seen others where he does the more serious roles. He does do
Mhm,
them well, and I think that's why recently he is playing those more stoic and serious roles mostly. Like again, outside
mhm,
of Bear Boyd and Renfield, the majority of his recent films, he's playing more silent or more serious characters, even when the movie
mhm,
itself is weird. I think he's just trying to really instill that that is a side of him because he is a good actor. Like I don't know what else to say. Like Long Legs might be the thing that does it show that he's a good actor. I haven't seen it.
and again, it's one of those. I guess, some people are like, "Oh, Nick Cage. Nick Cage is where he's Nick Cage is Nick Cage," and so some people try not to take him seriously. But you really have to respect the range he's able to give because, I mean, yeah, I think he has played in there are a lot of cheesy roles, and he's done like his own stuff. But like, it just really goes to show, how talented he is as an actor. with what he can do. Because again, the guy can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. In reality, Nicolas Cage is the one that goes to his producer and pitches a movie, and they're like, "Shit, all right."
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if you look at some of these years, like where like God, like back in like 2019, 2018, he was super busy. This dude was doing like 6, 7 year movies a year. Like the crap. Well, I said not just movies, but look at everything that he was doing, like all those voice roles that he was doing, documentaries, and then stuff that he actually did play in.
Yeah.
Jujitsu, but also, you know, sometimes I do feel like he's reaching with it. Again, like Jujitsu, a science fiction martial arts film
Oh yeah.
where
No.
yeah,
Sometimes he's just being like he's just being Nick Cage. The Nick Cage
it's
we all
weird
know.
though, right? Because you got all these guys looking all big and buff like they're in Mortal Kombat, and then there's Nick Cage with the katana on here, and he looks like he's like Tom Cruise, but yet also part Highlander. And I'm like, one of these don't really look like they belong here.
Okay, oh, you know what? That's a good comparison. Tom Cruise is a vocal insanity. Nick Cage is a silent insanity. Nick Cage is the guy
Yeah.
that's going to go up to you with a katana and a leather jacket and go, "I need you to take me seriously."
While, while you were out getting bitches, I was studying the blade. No, no,
He's the
not Nick
final form
Cage.
of incel.
he's he's become an alpha cell. That's what happened.
He's
He actually he's a new breed. They're getting better. Oh no.
They're evolving.
Oh shit. Alpha cells.
Okay, what? I'm looking.
This katana has been folded 1,000
I'm
times.
looking at images from jujitsu. What the fuck?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like again, like the more when you really think that you done scratched the surface of some of this stuff, I'm still just finding all of these really strange, bizarre, specifically the martial arts and Asian type ones, because looking at everything that he's been in, and then you look at the Asian martial art fights or I mean movies on here. I mean,
Maybe that's the secret. He's living every weeb's dream.
maybe that like again. So you're looking at the poster, right?
I'm
You're
looking.
looking at the poster, right? I don't know it.
I'm
Up
watching.
there on the top right, you got all this guy look like he's from the Marines, and then there's just Nick Cage. I guess he earned that right.
How does he both look out of place, but also perfectly fitting in every movie?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. That's literally what I'm talking about. Like it looks so out of place, but it's Nick Cage. You kind of just don't really question it ish. Like Nick Cage. Well, I guess it's him. So I guess.
Nicolas Cage, you could put him anywhere, but he belongs nowhere.
Oh, you gotta love it.
We love him. We love Nick Cage.
Love it.
We could keep rambling on about this, but I think we kind of understand. Like Nick Cage is just he's a good actor. He could do serious roles in a lot of good movies, but he's just the ultimate weeb fantasy, the alpha cell. He's. I'm gonna use. Sorry, I have some jujitsu playing in the background, like a little trailer, and like I swear I saw one of the fucking Wayans brothers for a clip. I was like, what the fuck? All right, no, I need to.
We're all in it.
We're all in it.
Everybody's in it.
Everybody's everybody's here.
Yay!
Oh god. Okay, I'm making a list of Nick Cage movies I've never seen that I'm gonna have to watch. Jiu-Jitsu, Lord of War. Oh, was the one I told you about or Outcast? Yeah, Outcast. And Drive Angry.
Drive Angry. Yes, I was gonna say definitely that one because that's I just got to know how he ends up in hell to get that gut to get the devil shotgun in the first place.
Like, part of me hopes that they don't actually explain it. The movie starts. I'm back from hell.
Right, like okay, so you're not going to talk about that? I guess. Well, I guess here we go. Just gonna go with the story.
Or just halfway through, it's like, so why'd you end up in hell? And just give the most nonsensical bullshit answer, like, how'd you end up in hell? Tax fraud. Wait.
Right. What? Yeah, when you commit a sin, you go to hell, and I died. But death can't hold me, so I came back. I just need the devil shotgun. All right, that checks out, Nick Cage. Thanks.
Yeah, just make a list of movies. My list of movies for probably to watch next: Jujitsu, Outcast, Drive Angry, and Lord of War. There's so fucking many. There's not one here that I could say is bad or don't at least somewhat want to see. I seriously had to remind myself. But yeah, good place to kind of move on there. We'll ride that high. Uh, switch on over a few things too. But there we go. The wheel. And
Oh, right.
as always, like we end every podcast, this wheel to determine the topic of the next time. Uh, topics we have listed: we have guilty pleasures, 80s horror, dinosaurs, what the fuck did I just watch, hand drawn Disney films, video game movies, and sequels. For the eighth spot, I put the guest asides, and well, I'm gonna try to leave that as a frequent placeholder. So
All right.
if it lands there, it'll go defer to the guest, which I know be you. You get to choose any of the other seven. It'll be your choice. But
Okay.
I like to have a little some bit of randomness here. So without further ado, let's spin this bad boy.
Spin to win till
Oh,
you die.
these things lead into each other so fucking perfectly. Fucking video
Wonderful.
game movies.
Mind magic. Easy.
Dude, like all of these have led into each other. So, seriously, like last episode we were doing Roger Corman, we had news that Nick Cage is going to be in a. I don't know if you know about this. Nick Cage being cast as John Madden in a John Madden movie.
What?
Yeah,
Nick Cage is John Madden and John Madden.
yes, and it was just
I better get some AU references.
hey
Nick Cage
you,
better know about that.
hey you, John Madden,
AU, John Madden.
and like,
Football.
and as soon as we were like, well, that's kind of a weird choice. It was, and the wheel hears me. It's like, oh, you think that's weird? Talk about Nick Cage more, asshole. I was like, fuck. Like the wheel hears me and it knows what we're talking about. We heard our bit about the Sonic movies and the all other video game movies, and it was like, oh, I got you. Video game movies. It's not rigged. I swear. It's just haunted.
It's how it works. Yep. It just plays out this way.
But yeah. Next time we'll talk about video game movies. But thank you for joining me today, man. This has been fucking awesome.
Absolutely. I had a lot of fun. It was really nice. And again, I hope to be able to join these more often here because I do enjoy being able to really express all of my excitement for these trailers and whatnot. Because again, I haven't had anything that I was really excited for in a while until like this year with some of this stuff. Even like video games and whatnot. So and also it does help me keep up to date with what is out because when we were originally going through some of the content here, I'm like, I did not hear about this movie. Now that I've seen this trailer, wonderful. I have a lot to say about this. So Y2K being one of them.
Yeah. A lot of the trailers I'll find passively. Again, big shout out to Dr. Jones. He posts a lot of stuff in that the movie
You
chat.
know,
Y'all have him in the Venus domain. Like that, like big shout out to him. But I use
he's
that.
got the recommendations.
Yeah, I use that page. I use YouTube. I use any source I can to stay up to date. Like I'm trying to treat. It's not a job yet. I don't get paid for it, but I'm trying to treat it like a job. Trying to keep up a schedule to keep up with all the trailers.
Right.
There's so many. There's so fun. I always have to cut out things and just like
Hmm.
I can't talk about this like, but I next week I don't know who I'm gonna ask, but I want to try eventually get everybody I know as a guest at one point.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We have a group campfire sesh of all things cool coming out.
Oh yeah. Like so far, of course we've had Kitty Man. He might, but that's its own thing. And for
Hmm.
those who didn't catch this in the beginning, until further notice, at least Kitty Man is going to be stepping away from Kino Corner. He just has some things like not my place to say, but this his seat is always warm. But aside from Kitty Man, we we've had Butcherson on here, Dr. Jones, Griffin came on here at one point. We had you on here. There's so many people want to ask. Like I saw Taters in the chat. That's right. I might ask you one day to get on here if I do like fantasy movies or something, Mr. Taters. But I try to vary the topics on the wheel
Mhm.
because I try to find topics that like I know this person knows about this, so I know this week I can ask them first. And just I don't know. I don't want to ramble too much about that, but again, thank you for showing up, and I will definitely see if I can ask you again in the
Yeah,
future because this was delightful.
absolutely. Thanks so much for having me here. It's again, I had a great time and was able to really like to enjoy being able to express all that. So yeah, of course, anytime when you want to have me back, I would be more than happy to come back here and spend some time with y'all chatting.
Absolutely. All right. Well, and thank y'all for watching.
Well, I hope y'all have a good night.